What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the PUBG Mobile Club Open Spring Split Finals here for the Europe West. What's going on? Of course, gotta give a big shout out to our sponsor, Xiaomi. Innovation for everyone. Of course, I'm Hot Jukes here with Mustache David. Today, it's a huge day, baby. It's a huge day, Dave. We gotta talk about this because 4 teams, only 4, are gonna be moving on after the stage.
Only 4 will join the PMPL Europe coming up here very shortly. All of the individual regions when it comes to PMCO currently are fighting for the same exact thing. They're fighting to secure themselves a spot to make it. I believe we were told 14 teams will be qualifying from the various PMCOs with 2 invited teams to that PMPL Europe. So these teams today, they qualified during the group stage. They're in the final stretch. They are in the final stretch here. Juke, 16 games to be exact over the next 4 days.
Ooh, baby. Well, let's go ahead and pull up the squads that we're going to be seeing playing here today, as well as for the rest of these 4 days coming up. And as we go ahead and switch over to that, you're going to see we're going to start off with Hate Gaming EU, 4 Romanian Men, Panda, Entropiq, Rexpect Esports, GSG Europe, Scrimfarms, No Limits.
Yeah. So these are all the teams, and this is the order in which they qualified, by the way. So Hate Gaming was the team who had the most points during the group stage. And then Silencer Gaming, that might be a new name. That some people aren't familiar with. Well, that's for a good cause, because Silencer Gaming, they were previously known as LakoNostra ICE. You remember them, Hot Jukes? They popped off that last day of the group stage. So yeah, they came in here. They changed their name. They got that new swag and that drip, and then right above them, No Hate. So these 2 teams, ladies and gentlemen, well, they're counting their lucky stars, because we saw some announcements over the past couple days. 2 teams to be exact, Team Masters and Masters Esports. Well, they didn't follow the rules, Hot Juke. So hey, that's good. No Hate. Yeah, they got the boot, man. They got booted on out of here. So if you are kind of wondering, how did No Hate make it? Well, they were next in line. And then, of course, LakoNostra ICE right underneath them. So this is it, man. This is it. These are the 16 teams who are honestly fighting for that top 4 spot here over the next 4 days.
Well, I gotta say this. I'm so glad that PUBG Mobile, is taking a no tolerance policy when it comes to those kind of shenanigans. But honestly, I'm really excited because to see, now Silencer Gaming, ex LakoNostra ICE, make it to here, I'm so stoked, because we saw them pop off on the last day. They obviously had a first 2 couple of days, and then in the third, man, they popped off to be able to look like we thought was going to make it, but they actually ended up making it after all. So I'm really happy to see them here in the finals. Really quickly, though, let's go ahead and take a look for anybody that's just tuning in for the first time, how all these teams are going to get points. Remember, this is going to be 4 days. The most points, top 4 teams, are going to be moving on to the PUBG Mobile Pro League. And as you can see here, first place, a chicken dinner is going to give you 15 points. Second's going to give you 12. Third's going to give you 10. Of course, going on down the line, that 8 through 12, 1 points. 13 through 16 is going to give you nothing. Not at all. And of course, 1 point for every kill you get in the game. And Dave, I mean, you could just talk about, I think we could talk about for days just how important we've seen these kill points just have been these past few tournaments.
Yeah, and I'm sure we will be talking about this for a couple of days, at least 4, because a couple teams, Silencer Gaming now, they barely qualified. Congrats, though. Clean slate, though. Everybody starting with 0 points once again. And there's a lot of teams, going back, just looking at their group stage performance, they didn't really get too many kills. They didn't get too many kills. And the teams that we see at the top of the leaderboards, like Hate Gaming for Romanian Men, they're good at both getting placement points and kills. So if you're going to be a team to make that top 4, you got to be good at both areas of the game here.
And I want to see some people mix it up, because last we saw on the last stage was all about getting top 16. And I think a lot of teams were just kind of aiming for that goal, because that's really all that mattered. Now, though, top 4. This is all there is. That's going to take a whole different level of skill cap. So we have to see teams pretty much pop off from the start to the end. But you know what? We have to see what maps they're going to pop off on. So let's go ahead and move over to the schedule so we can see exactly where all these teams are going to be playing at. And of course, this is going to be the same rotation that we've seen every day so far in the PMCO, starting it off in Erangel. Moving on over to the jungle, Sanhok, one of my favorite maps to watch. Miramar in the desert, and then, of course, coming on back to Erangel.
Yeah, same rotation that we had the opportunity to play during the group stage. So these teams, they should feel comfortable with this map pool. If you are just now tuning on in, we kicked out Vikendi for the time being. We gave Vikendi the boot over here. And with these 16 games, yeah, get out of here. We're going to have 8 Erangel, 4 Sanhok, 4 Miramar. So 50% of the matches here in the PMCO Finals, Erangel. That's a big thing here, Jukes. That's a big thing to consider, right?
I think so, without a doubt. I mean, I think a lot of these teams are going to be stoked for it. I mean, as an ex-comp player, as anybody, I talk to anybody comp players, I ask them what's their favorite map to play on. It's going to be Erangel 9 times out of 10. And for that reason, it's just because it's the tried and true. It's the classic. It's the game. Whenever we all started playing this game, we all started in Erangel, and it's good to see that this is going to be the map that it's going to be the most played here coming PMCO, because I think it's going to show. It's going to show which teams are going to be here on top, I think, towards the end.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time. The players, they are starting to load up into the plane for the official first map of PMCO Finals EUS. By the way, if you haven't noticed, subscribe to the channel, PUBG Mobile Esports Europe, brand new channel. Who it is? So hey, if you found out, welcome to the channel, brand new here. Hit that subscribe button. But ladies and gentlemen, game number 1, players loaded on up. Let's get it, man. Let's get it.
Let's go, baby. Let's go, man. Dave, bro, we are the first people to officially have any content on this new PUBG Mobile channel. How's it feel, Dave? How's it feel?
It's an amazing moment, when they asked me if I would make content for the first day ever, the first couple minutes of the PUBG Mobile Esports Europe channel. I was like, me? You're picking me? It was honestly one of the greatest achievements of my life, Hot Jukes.
Dude, seeing PUBG Mobile just get down on 1D and ask us, I mean, I almost cried. And for everybody that's watching, you guys are witnessing history, baby. The first tournament we're going to see on this brand new channel for PUBG Mobile. So get hype, hit the subscribe button. I want to see how many subscribers we can get by the end of this day here as we go on. But we can see a nice little playing path as we get back into the game, starting it off the finals with a nice northern playing path here. So, of course, all the squads are going to be dropping on George. They're going to be pretty happy about this.
We'll get into the game in 1 second, but I just got to follow up. I was there.
A little backtrack.
I was there when PUBG Mobile Esports channel hit 1 million. I was there. All right. I was on the cast that day.
Witness.
So let's see. I was there, man, because I was plugging it. It was part of the deal. But hey, ladies and gentlemen, let's hit that 1 million today with Hot Jukes and Dave. We can do it. 1 million. That's the goal. 1 million subscribers in a day in 4 games. I think we got it, Hot Jukes.
You know what, dude? Let's pass up the official PUBG Mobile Esports channel
2.2
right now.
Let's do it.
Why not? 2.2 million, dude. Easy, bro. 4 games, just we get a good little 500,000 people plus per game, dude. I'm down. Let's go. And I know that these teams are going to be excited for that. And one thing, all right, as we get it kind of like now we kind of tune back in here. We're going to see the first circle go on up. I think one thing is today's going to be a really huge one because I think that's going to set where all these squads are going to land for the rest of the tournament. Because at the end of the day, I think we didn't have these teams really fight each other completely. This is the first time I think we see all these squads meeting together. So I think it's going to take a little while for these squads to really dial in their spots. I think you can only do so much research. It's really until you actually face these teams for the first time where I think you're going to start seeing things get settled.
I believe they had some time to play some scrims though over the last couple of days, and now I know a lot of people like to say scrims are different. Yes, I agree. This is official. This is when it counts. And if you are really one of these teams that like to play trickster out here, you might drop somewhere else during those scrims. And yeah, this is it. This is the first time officially all these teams are going to be in the same lobby, because going back to the group stage, it was a rotating lobby. We had 4 different groups, 32 teams in total. Now we chopped that down to just 16 teams, and this is it. And I have to agree with you. Today is going to be one of those days where it might be a little quiet. Early game might be a little quiet. All right, I'm not going to lie. But it's an important day because, like you said, these teams are going to use all 4 games here today to really plant their flag for this lobby over moving forward over the next 3 days after this. So very important that if we do see one of these teams, maybe their drop spots get contested, it's an important day for them to defend their drop spots and ensure that over the next 4 days, like, hey, we're dropping Pachinki, we're dropping Yasnaya, like, you guys better stay out of here, because if you don't, we are going to take the fight to you. And we know early fights, yeah, you can get some early points, but it's very dangerous, very risky, especially when now it's no longer top 16 we're looking for. We're only looking for top 4. So if you have one game, and I'm going to ask you this, Jukes, if you have one game, maybe 2 games, that's what I'm going to call it. If you get 16th place, you're going to, I don't know if you're going to qualify. I don't know. I know you like to talk about those throwaway games, those throwaway days. You know, in your experience, 16 games, how many games can a team really truly afford to throw away without, not going to qualify? Like, what do you think?
I'll say this, right? First, we got to talk about the Hot Jukes excuse punch card, okay? You only get a few punches in that card. Hold on, let me see these shots really quick. A nice little jump out from Heckshot, trying to put some shots down range with that M4. Oh, and he's going to get one. That's a really good way to start things off for Scrimfarms, which team we just saw pop off towards the end. But back to what I was saying. When it comes to the Hot Jukes excuse punch card, the only games that I'll allow to have a bad performance on is the first 2 games of the tournament. Because, when you're having to deal with landing on new teams for the first time, you're going to deal with some initial nerves, which are going to be huge because this is a very big stage for all these teams. I mean, this is where you decide who's going to be able to move on. So I'll give the first couple games, okay? Other than that, though, you got to be on point. You got to be on point going forward if you want to make it in the top 4. So those are the only 2 games I'll allow.
So we both agree 2 games, 2 matches.
And it's this one right here, and the next one. And that's it.
I'm saying 2 in general. I'm being a little easier than I'm saying 2 games. You can get 0 points to goose egg in general. Hey, what's the difference, man? What's the difference? I mean, what's the difference?
Well, if you want to get top 4, yeah. If you want to get top 4, then maybe you can afford just 1 or 2 games. You're right. With a 0 point game. At the rest of the day, you have to be able to put up some major points on the board. And that will still take, look at this little traffic jam right there. Okay. Beep, beep. Love to see that. Yeah, beep, beep. We need a stoplight right there. But you can afford a couple of bad games, but you're going to still need a few pop-off games to make up for it, I think, if you want to make it in the top 4. Because you got some teams that really performed well during the group stages, and everybody is going to know exactly how many points they're going to need to pass you up, and they're going to do everything they can to do that. Beep, beep.
That's me honking, man.
Beep, beep.
That's me. I'm working here. So
hey,
looking back at the group stage, I'm walking here, Tony. So I'm trying to get that threshold. Another important number that we were talking about during the group stage. Each team, they had 12 games during the group stage. Right now, I'm looking at the total points during group stage. Out of 12 games, top 4 had 135 points plus. So we have 16. So these teams, they have more games here to go. I'm trying to think. Top 4 numbers here. 4th place. I'm going to put it at like 175. Jukes. 175 is going to be my number.
That's not a bad number to aim for. I think if you're a team that gets 175, I think you should be pretty happy here. We're going to see LakoNostra Power, one of their members, are going to go down early. A lot of kind of early trades. I think we're seeing, by a lot, I mean just a few. And this is what I was talking about. Like, the first couple games, I'll give a little bit of a pass to, because you're trying to find out rotations and where teams are landing, and sometimes you may have someone that's a little bit out of position. So hopefully after these first couple of games, things will just get tightened up a little bit more, and people will really start performing the way we like to see it. Because I think we really started seeing these teams loosen up on their last day of the initial group stage. So I want to see them kind of come out strong here at the start.
In particular, one team that really was loose was, I believe it was Scrimfarms on the last day. They got so many kills. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Clown, I think on Scrimfarms, broke the individual kill record in one game. So hopefully some teams, I know they had a couple day break here. Hopefully over that break, they were able to just, fine tune those skills that really helped them qualify here in the first place. So checking on in, LakoNostra Power, going to be right here at the foothill underneath in a squad. I didn't catch who that was, but all the way at the top already claiming that as their own.
Yeah, I'm going to keep a close eye on Clown because Homeboy just didn't just break it. I mean, he shattered it. I mean, double-digit kills in a single game. And not to mention, that was a game that they needed to pop off of because they were not in the top 16. Like, they had to pop off that game in order to make it in the top 16, and they had the best performance of any team during the entire tournament. So that's a really huge telltale sign for me of a squad that's got what it takes, that's got the cojones to make it past into the next stage. At the end of the day, though, got to put up the numbers, and you got to get the kills right here, right now, as the next zone starts to close.
Here we go. Next circle does shift. For the most part, a lot of teams going to be in it. Scrimfarm, right between that school and 4 Romanian men over there at Pachinki. They're not going to have very much of a challenge pushing forward, but up there, just a little north of the ruins, I see Entropiq. They are going to start to make their approach on in. GSG as well, going to be following right behind them. GSG, we know, looking back at the group stages, we know they do not hesitate to take a fight here. Jukes, I want to say they were one of the most aggressive teams. I know their kill points were really low compared to everybody else that is up there top 5. But I think that's an area that we should look at them moving forward here for the finals to improve on, because they did get into a lot of fights. I remember GSG getting a lot of knocks, a lot of trades. It's just bringing it home. And what I mean by that, if you're going to get a knock, if you're going to take a fight, make sure you commit and get the thirst. That's all they need to do. If they can just do that, I can see them being top 4 here.
And you know what? I love their mentality because, to be honest with you, I had one of their members hit me up on Twitter after they had I'm not going to say it was a bad day. It was just a average day. It wasn't an above average, insane performance. And still, I had one of them hit me up, and they were just like, man, Jukes, sorry. We didn't perform like we wanted to. But we're going to come. We're going to bring it here the next couple days. And they did. They ended up being one of the top teams moving from the group stages. So to see that kind of mentality of always wanting more, it definitely hypes me up to see how they are able to do here. And like we said, this is 4 days. 4 days. 4 teams are going to move on to the Pro Leagues, and only the best of the best are going to get that shot. And the crazy thing is, when you make it to the Pro League, you're able to get a lot more. Hold on one second. We see some shots going on down from here. GSG, speaking of GSG, right? We're seeing them trying to avoid these shots downrange as they try to make a rotation onto Pachinki Hill. But yeah, when you make it to PMPL, you'd be surprised how set you are. I mean, that kind of gives you some slots to be able to get into the next tournament. It really opens the door. So it's so important for these teams to move on.
All that money. And we were talking about GSG.
Not like that.
Yeah, just seems like they were getting pressured on their rotate, trying to find a spot to call their own, maybe even rotating in just a little later than we would like them to see. And they did lose one in the process, and it looked like, for the most part, all 4 of them, they did have their own vehicles, but receiving that cover fire from multiple teams, they all kind of split up, went their separate ways, and said, hey, just survive, best of luck. I believe that was Panda as well, a bamboo of Panda, who initiated that fight. I was getting a little worried because Yiz was right there on top of that roof. I mean, in the open, really aggressive, and all it takes is somebody else to spot out those shots and just take full advantage of that. So I'll pay attention to them. Still 16 teams alive, though. This is what we should expect here today. At least when we look at the early game, we might see some individual fights here and there, some scraps. But all these teams are going to be playing ultra safe.
Yo, Tudor just ran into that. He's like, let me just go get this buggy. And then Hey Gaming said, no, sir. Sorry. Yeah, you're not going to see that buggy anytime soon. How about the lobby? I mean, that's just so tough. You think you're fine, and you got to always just watch out and be careful. There could be a team creeping up on top of the hill, and especially when it comes to playing at such a high level with so much on the line, these teams, they are going to take every advantage that they possibly can. So you got to be extra careful, and this is a really big, I think, learning lesson really quick for No Hate.
Yeah, and that's going to be Hate Gaming, the team who got the most kills during the group stage, who took full advantage of that. The next zone does go on up for Romanian Men. They drop Pachinki. Pachinki going to still be right there, smack in the middle. Scrimfarms going to be cresting near the outskirts of Pachinki, but we have a lot of teams who, focused more or less on Gatka, no longer in play. And one rotate. I believe that was Hate Gaming. Very wide rotate in the blue. They're trying to avoid any type of conflicts on their approach right now. Very interesting play coming out from them.
We're starting to see some teams really start to set up their spots, get some shots going down range. That DP is so huge. And for anybody, you got to make sure that you're following a lot of these top players because you're going to be able to see some things that you've never seen before. One particular is Paraboy. With that DP, he has really just showed me that 4-round burst. And you can just see right now, Simple seems to be kind of taking that similar approach of just trying to hit those 4 initial shots. These are with 7.6 bullets. If you're able to hit the first 4 bullets, that's pretty much a knock, especially if you hit in that head neck area. So, and it takes no attachments. No attachments, 47 bullets, such a strong weapon in Erangel.
No limits. Missing a player this game. Missing a player. So we'll have to, take that into consideration when it comes to, even if they do get a knock, you know, are they going to push? Are they going to take advantage of that? Even if they get 2 knocks, are they going to push? So we'll have to take that into consideration. This is only game number 1, but they only have 16 in total. So not sure exactly what's going on right there. Entropiq able to breach this warehouse. Looks like they're going to have a little 2-2 split. 2 members in the warehouse, 2 members in those rocks, those cliffs. I love those rocks right there. They provide some decent cover. But if a team pushes you with a couple grenades and a couple mollies, well, those boulders aren't going to provide too much cover. But Pachinki, baby, ooh, that's where we're heading here, Hot Jukes.
Andalito, said andale, get away from me. He's got that Car 98 8X, putting some work with it. It's also rocking an AK, so he's rocking full 7.6 to be able to hold this circle down. And one thing I want to see, especially at the start, my rule of thumb is when it comes to competitive, is to be extra aggressive at the start. If you have a team that's able to kind of have that composure, because you're going to have so many teams nervous, playing extra passive, try not to make mistakes. And while trying not to make mistakes, you end up making a lot just due to that hesitation. So I think you see the teams that like to play aggressive at the start have a lot more success, and especially when it comes to PMCO. Next circle, though, is going to go on up right beside Pachinki.
So for Romanian Men, a really soft 2-2 split on that hill, on that church, right? They got 2 members in the church, and then they got 2 on the lower ground on the hill just north of that. And that is very smart because the church, one of their weak points is that lower hill to the north of it. I want 4 Romanian Men to stay where they are right now because they can capitalize in their current position and really, you know, take some shots, maybe even third party, because a lot of teams going to be working their way on in here from the south, and there's not a lot of pathways in. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see some teams just straight up sending it right on in through Pachinki right now.
Makes total sense. I think if you're for Romanian Men, you cannot move. Yeah, you can't move. I think you should just be standing up and just lighting up anybody that's trying to get into that Pachinki area. One team that's trying to find their way in zone, you can see right here, it's going to be uncalled for, and they are in a lot of trouble. Just full lay down, snaking it to make it, trying to just creep their way on in and get some placement points for their teams to start things off here.
So Entropiq, they had a 2-2 split. They had 2 members at those little cliffs, those little boulders, but it seems like Mooney was the last one left behind. Didn't make the approach into the warehouse with their other squad mates. Was knocked out in the process. So they're going to have to decide, do we risk it, you know, drive over there, get the pickup, or do we just let Mooney bleed on out and, you know, chalk it up to just one of the casualties of war? Over here, Panda going to be making the push. They got a couple of vehicles, very split apart right here. Very surprised with how split they are.
And this is on Cold 4's almost worst nightmare because they're just trying to snake it on into GSG Europe, and now they got Panda coming behind them, so they're completely pinched. It looks like it is going to be just probably one more member from on Cold 4 on top of that hill, and that's it. It's all up to Godzilla. He's got that AK, though, and he's popping some shots. He's getting some nice knocks. I think it's only 1 member up for Panda. Yeah, that's it. And he looks like he's going to leave his team. I'm not sure exactly where he's going, though, because there's nothing but players on that end. That's a full send from Panda. 3 members down, 1 left to go. Can he find a spot and try to get some more placement points? We're going to have to find out here. It looks like Uncalled For is in this very similar situation as well.
Yeah, that was an interesting push from Panda. Usually they tend to stay really close, grouped up together on the rotates, but right there, they're kind of spread apart. I don't know if that would have helped them try to survive just a little longer. Maybe have given them the opportunity to maybe toss the smoke, maybe try to get their revive. But Godzilla in that bush, I mean, top 10 bush right there, baby. That's a Dave top 10 bush. So Zombie within grenade range right here. This is Zombie from Exotic Alliance. Looks like they're going to be right underneath Gamers Unite Nations.
Yeah, and Godzilla was holding a crazy off angle, so I don't know if maybe Panda panicked and thought it was a completely other team. It was just that one player, though, and opting to just completely leave his squad, not throw out any smokes. And this is what I'm talking about, is like when it comes to this high level, you're going to have those hesitation kind of panic plays, and we know in PUBG Mobile, this is in the milliseconds here. You got to make quick decisions, and if you make just the slightest little delay in one, that can be a devastating move for your entire team. Next zone is about to go on up, and this is going to be a huge deciding factor, especially with this type of circle of who's going to have the biggest advantage going forward.
I'm still looking at 4 Romanian men at the church in Pachinki. They are going to be right there on the edge. So now all those teams who are currently in Pachinki trying to, use it for cover and safety and comfort, well, they got to push. It's going to be urban combat right there through Pachinki. So it's going to be a bloodbath in the streets.
It's crazy. I mean, look, 16 teams still remaining, and it's circle number 5, almost 20 minutes in. If you go out right now, you're literally in last place. You're pulling up 0 placement points. This is what I'm talking about when it comes to the finals. Everybody is just playing their heart out, trying to get some points on the board. You can see right now Daos Legion holding the top of this hill. They're going to start pressing down into here. They're going to crash the building, actually, and, they're in trouble, and that is going to be the end, I believe, for No Limit. So they're going to be the currently in last place, 16th. Daos is going to pick up 3 kills, get some loot as well. But the thing is that they need to get moving. The zones are already starting to close on them, and this is not in range.
Yeah, they left 2 of their squad mates behind to provide that cover fire. Meanwhile, they were able to push that building. That building not in the next zone, so that cover is not going to be good. And that's why we start to see the chaos here. Exotic Alliance, they've been snaking it over here. They also need to make the push. So Daos Legion, interesting little play that they had right there, the little 2-2. I don't know if it'll pay off here, though, as it looks like the duo who did push in the U.S., they are currently getting chunked. It's only Rich, the last one alive here. Yeah, taken down by Andy and that Scar.
Nice shots from Andy right there. So, I mean, Exotic Alliance are holding a pretty much an open field, but they have those smokes and they're using those vehicles. And not to mention, all those teams inside a zone, they're so busy focused on each other. So that's kind of giving them a lot of breathing room here to keep surviving. And it looks like they're in the next zone. So it looks they're going to be holding this spot for the time being. And then hopefully trying to, you can see a lot of the smokes coming up right now. I would have liked to see that smoke a little bit further rather than right on top of them. Still, though, I mean, when it comes to this kind of pressure, you just throw it out there, man. You just throw it out there and just hope for the best.
Ooh, I saw somebody run over themselves. So you know what's crazy? 21 minutes into this game, still 14 teams alive. If you get taken out right here with no kills, that's 0 points. So 21 minutes of playing in this competitive lobby, you could still get 0 points. It's actually insane. Gamers Unite Nations currently trying to close the gap, trying to make the push onto Scrimfarms right now, using this little smoke tunnel as they toss some grenades. Hackshot looking to do the same thing, get their squad mate picked up.
We're looking to see a lot of just the same thing. I mean, teams getting knocks, instantly going for those smokes, trying to revive people up. I guarantee you some of these squads are going to have their eyes popping out of their head when they go out right now. And just like that, you're going to see a team leave, and they're just going to be like, 14th place? How? How are we not in the top 10? But that's the PMCO Finals, baby. You got to be able to survive as long as possible. Next zone is going to be a hard shift to the south. So all these teams in this open field in the north have to get their way moving down, and it is not going to be easy.
And that's why kills are going to be so important here, because if you get a couple kills, if you get 4 or 5 kills per game, that will offset the risk associated with all these teams just surviving as long as they do right now. So Hate Gaming, they know they need to move, but the challenge is just too fierce ahead of them. It looks like they're going to be standing their ground over there in the tail ends, trying to pick up some of those kills. And talk about somebody trying to pick up some kills. This is going to be Jaguar from No Hate right here doing the same thing with that DP.
Jaguar, yeah, got that DP 7.6, and he's doing pretty good job with it so far. Yeah. And you see if he's going to be able to hold this position. The only thing is that he needs to start roaring, because to get into this zone, it's going to be a very, very difficult time for No Hate. They have a long way to go, and there's so many teams surrounding them. They have to hit some big shots, and look at this. They are just getting gate kept like crazy. But Jaguar snaking with that DP, just causing havoc on all these teams trying to push it. Look at this. Now here comes Slick, just with a hard gatekeep, and this is why it's so difficult to push in. And that's exactly what you need to do. Stand up straight, get those shots, and get some insane kills while you can get them.
Yeah, Slick's gonna be the last one alive though.
Oh!
From Hate Gaming, because we saw two of their squad mates get into a vehicle and try to send it into the zone. I would have liked to have saw them just stay on the outskirts, just work their way on with the blue zone and take these shots, because like I said, you got to offset the risk. You have to assume the zone is going to be gate kept so hard right now. Circle number 6, and I believe that's what No Hate are attempting to do here. Ooh, but Bardot with the Uzi putting a stop to that. Gonna be taken down. No Hate. Oh, the blue zone. Papa Blue.
He tried so hard to get into blue. As soon as he got that knock, he put that Uzi away, hands up, and just pumping those arms, tried to be able to get into the blue zone. Unfortunately, not able to do it in time, so Papa Blue will be taking him out. It looks like Poppy, though, is still up and alive for the rest of the squad. See if they're going to be able to get it down. Oh, a nice nade. Could this be the one? Oh, and the perfect bounce is going to catch Levi from GSGEU that had to push out of Murder House, and the warehouse being a very strong position here at the end. It's up to the rest of GSGEU to really find this position or possibly push this. Backfire's got another one, though. Locked and loaded. Oh, pulled the pin back in. Second thoughts. Putting it back again. Levi's going to be telling his team, bro, this guy's pulling pins. You better be able to get some shots ready. And Kamara with that Uzi, he's waiting for that opportunity in that tall grass. Is that the nade, though? Did it come out? Wow. It is, and it's going to pop Andalito. It's up to Kamara to be able to get this done. A lot of those smokes, though, are doing a great job at reducing his sight lines, and he doesn't want to shoot. He doesn't want to give away his position. The only thing is there's only 30 seconds left on the clock, and they're out of blue. Both of these teams are.
You call it the Murder House for good reason. Don't get close to it. That's some advice for GSG right there. And looking at GSG, they got one more up. Entropiq, very smart use of vehicles. They know that players could look into that other entrance, so they blocked it. We saw Audacia, we saw a Buggy blocking those sight lines to allow this fight happening right now with GSG. The question for me, though, how much time are you going to commit to this? You're solo. You got to survive. You're not even moving. Blue zone.
Look at that blue zone. Oh.
Would you have started to crawl a lot earlier, Jukes? That's my question to you.
That's a 50-50. I think you're going to ask your IGL there. Oh, he's going to take a shot, though, and he's going to start running into the zone, and he's going to push Entropiq. All or nothing. All or nothing. Whoa! Oh, I'm going to get tapped from the side in the last second from Panda. So almost made it to safety to try and get that finish and those first aids, but Panda shutting that down really quick with Entropiq backfire still alive. Oh, run over! No way! Poppy just runs up! It's this Daos Legion goodbye. Again? And he is just going on a rampage. Was able to get one kill, but I mean, I gotta admit, he did it in style, Dave. He went out the way he wanted to.
I respect that so much from Poppy. We actually got a point on the board and almost another point from Team Night Target over there right behind this ridge. Almost got him. Very close. Tried popping off at that last moment. So 4 Romanian men. I believe they're down to just a solo Sushi. I'm looking at TI from Panda right here. TI from Panda has the high ground. Backfire is going to be bleeding on out right now, too.
I want to see exactly what Team Night Target's doing. They have cover, so they should be standing up and being a lot more aggressive in the situation. Oh, nice DP shot there from Panda. That's going to make him in the top 3 now. Here comes the blue zone. He's got 4 first aids, so he can afford to kind of crawl a little slowly right here. And it's going to end right there next to him. So he's going to have a good position. And, man, I don't think any team's close to him. Yeah, he's standing up, and he's got plenty of cover. And he's going to try and wrap around to get to the edge of this blue zone. A beautiful rock in front of him. So, I mean, man, Panda, this last remaining member, he's been a solo for a long time. Since pretty much early mid-game. Their whole team got wiped out by uncalled for. So it has just been him, and he's already in a top 3 situation. And to be honest with you, he may end up, I mean, he can win this with his spot.
Yeah. Yeah, and easy, also has Audacia. Has Audacia. You never know. I mean, we've seen players, pull out that clutch card that YOLO sent. Those Dacia is such a huge factor. I mean, that thing is just a steamroller if they do decide to go that route. So, Team Night Target, no longer favored in this zone. They're going to be pushing across the road. They got a duo. Are they pushing together? I believe they are. Ziggin and Zaggin. Sushi from 4 Romanian men right on over the hill. I don't even think they have an idea. Sushi from behind.
Lay down.
Oh, almost taking down one. Popping up. Will be taking down Loki. Now to 1v1 hot shoot.
And it's going to be done just like that. So Team Night Target is going to win that 1v1 or 2v1 situation and win the first match here of the PUBG Mobile Club Open EU West Finals. A great performance, a great ending. I mean, that was a really tough zone to navigate through, but Team Night Target, they had that duo up, they had that little hill, and you could just see them stand up straight, hit them shimmies, start pressing them, and just getting it done, getting that chicken dinner.
I can only go back and timing is everything. When it comes to the solo from Panda, I can only go back, and I know this is me, being ultra critical, but if they were to pop up and get some type of sight lines on Team Night Target as they made that push, immediately when they saw Loki get taken out, that was their window. That was their window to get that chicken dinner, Hot Jukes. But regardless, hey, it is what it is. Game number 1 will be in the books. I'm also a little surprised for Romanian Men. 3rd place, only 4 kills. They had the zone for some time, over there on that church near Pachinki. They had the ability to gatekeep a lot of teams. I have to assume their damage is probably really high, but only 4 kills, right? I mean, that's a surprise for me too.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a surprise. I think regardless of if you had to go in the first game, getting a top 3 finish, I think you got to be pretty pumped up to start, because the start's always the most difficult part of the tournament, in my opinion, because there's just so many factors that you have to really navigate through in order to be able to perform well. And to get 3rd place is great. I think by far the underdog winner is going to be Panda, because Panda, solo member, snaking their way through 5 kills in 2nd place. That is massive for that squad. So that's going to be game number 1 in the books. Still 3 remaining matches left to go. And the next one, Dave, Sanhok, baby. It's Sanhok, one of my favorite maps to watch. So everybody watching, go get your drinks, get everything ready, and we'll catch you guys right after this quick short break. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the PUBG Mobile Club Open EU West Finals, of course, sponsored by Xiaomi, innovation for everyone. I'm Hot Jukes here with Mustache Dave, and we already got match number 1 in the books. We got 3 more left to go. And like I said right before the break, we're going now into the jungle, baby, the thick of it, the jungle that is Sanhok. And Dave, after match number 1, you know, we saw some of these teams, I think, shake out a little bit of their, little nerves, a little bit of that ansias, you know? What do you think?
Well, it was 21 minutes into that game, still 14 teams alive. So Sanhok is going to be putting a little more pressure on that. I don't know if we'll have that same scenario this game, as it is a lot of a smaller of a map. The terrain a lot more difficult to traverse if you are going to be playing the edge ultra slow. And Sanhok, it doesn't allow you to do that, in my opinion. It doesn't allow you to just, sit there on the edge and just, go for those placement points. It forces you into the heat of the battle.
I hope that a lot of these squads, like after match number 1, like I said, the Hot Jukes excuse punch card, I'll punch it for all the teams that didn't have a good game here. But going forward, I mean, even Sanhok, like I said, it could be a little bit of a 50-50 hit or miss. But I want to see a lot of these squads understand that when you have so much money on the line, and this is for the top 4 placement spots. The problem, though, is for those teams that are the top 4 moving on, if you are moving on to the big stage, like, for example, the PUBG Mobile Global Championships, which just ended, the difference between one placement point or one placing is tens of thousands of dollars. Like, just from first place to second, we saw it was like, what, $100,000 difference? So a lot of these squads need to understand that and really just press, always going for that first place position. And the thing is, even when it comes to the global championships, the Hot Jukes punch card, there's 0. It doesn't exist, Dave. You can't afford it. You can't afford a bad game.
Not when it's $100,000 for that 1 point, and that's my reasoning. I know you kind of said, "Hey, not gonna be too critical." That's why I'm a little more critical now. Like my example with 4 Romanian Men, I got access to the API, so I got the numbers. They had 5 knocks with only 4 kills. Now, yeah, it's only one more kill that they could have secured, but I mean, that 1 point, Hot Jukes, that 1 point is everything to me, because it's only top 4 right now. And this is when, top 4, that's a lot of pressure. But if these teams do make that next stage, that next round, we're talking about 1 point being, like you mentioned, $100,000. So I feel like if you're going to be one of these top teams, you need to make sure to flush the knocks. I mean, that's just a fact, right? So, hey, I might be a little critical here, but for a good reason, Hot Jukes.
I don't think you're being too critical at all. I mean, you got to capitalize on every single opportunity, because guess what? Once you start getting to that big boy stage, they don't make mistakes. They just don't. They've had too much experience. They put in too much work. Every little opportunity, they're going to punish you for it. So, having said that, match number 1's in the books, but why don't we go over and head over to the thing that I know a lot of people want to look at, the rankings, baby. This is where it matters. Let's go ahead and see how these squads are looking after match number 1. And right off the bat, we're going to see Team Night Target. They're going to be the first chicken dinner winners here of the PMCO Finals here in the EU West division. They're going to have 21 points to their name. Panda with that solo snake, baby. Snaking their way to the top with 17 points. And then you just look down the line. Man, the difference in points is just insane.
Team Night Target as well. The first official chicken dinner on the PUBG Mobile Esports Europe YouTube channel, baby. So hey, tweet that out, put that in your bio. I mean, shoot, first chicken dinner on the Esports Europe channel. Hey, congrats, Team Night Target. Honestly, congrats. And going into Sanhok, it's going to be a challenge, especially if you are a Team Night Target. You want to continue with the momentum, because during the group stages, they actually did not get a chicken dinner. So, from group stage to now, already an improvement. And they just need to continue moving forward now with this.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great start. At 21 points, you're quadrupling almost half the lobby. So you're in a really good position. And the big thing is, when it comes to here in the finals, it's only 4 days. It's only 16 games. So once this day is done, a quarter of the entire tournament is finished. And if you had a bad day number one and another team has no bad days, you're not beating them. You're just not going to beat them. It's that critical. You have to pop off every single game. It's either that, or if you have a bad day, you need to have an insane day. Like, you have to have a couple of chicken dinners in that day. And with this kind of lobby, it's not going to be easy to get.
Yeah, and I think, with the amount of games to go, 15 to be exact, I think if you are a team, you want to get at least 8 points per game. At least, just to have that fighting chance for that last day, for that top 4. I think consistency is everything. I know that's a phrase that we might overuse here, but it's the truth. It's the truth. Ladies and gentlemen, though, Sanhok, players are loaded on up. Hot Jukes, you ready? I'm ready.
Oh, I'm ready, baby. Let's get it. Match number 2 of the PMCO EU West Finals. Of course, sponsored by Xiaomi Innovation for everyone. The plane's looking pretty. The players inside of it are looking pretty. This map's looking pretty. It's all pretty up in here, man. Look at this. And this plane path headed right down the middle to get things started here in match number 2.
He didn't say I'm looking pretty, so I don't know.
Oh, dude, but everyone knows it, though. I didn't have to say it. I didn't even have to, bro. Everyone knows that mustache, Dave, both the Dave and the mustache, always pretty, baby. Always.
That's all I have, man. Hey, Jason was in the DM saying, why'd you cut your hair? Why'd you cut your hair? Hey, relax, man. I was trying something new, all right? And he said, hey, I don't know, Dave. You're not the same, man. You're not the same. So, hey, Hot Jukes, hopefully, I know you got a haircut. You're looking good. Hopefully you don't look at me differently, man. I mean, it's just hair on my head.
No. Dave, I mean, but Jason Kaplan, that man is just a fan of the luscious locks. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, what can I say? Can't blame him. I mean, everybody has their own preferences these days, but that's what he likes. So we'll see. Dave, I say at the end of the day, you do you, brother. Mm-hmm. You do you. You're looking good. You're ready to go. Well, you know what? A lot of teams, they're having to do themselves right now. You can see Gamers Unite Nations going up against Daos Legion early. Bassie's got that QBZ with the M4. Hipfire is going to be the victor to start. And instant thirst. Instant thirst. That's the PMCO. When you got so much on the line, these guys are going to punish you quick. But a lot of trades going back and forth. You can see trying to get that revenge with that AK. Oh, but holding it down is Herbs with that QBZ M4. Tons of pre-fire. Vector's going to come on in. Trades going back and forth. Going to catch Rich. Now it's up to Kraken. With the reload, it's going to be a little too long. And Daos Legion's going to end up winning that one. Of course, losing one member in the process. At the same time, though, especially in a map like Sanhok, I think kills are going to be so critical. And to start off with 4, I think that's a dub. I think that's a dub in my book.
I mean, yeah, that's equivalent to a 6th place finish. So 4 points within the first minute. Hey, that was Pre-Fire City. We need to change that town name to Pre-Fire City, though. All right, I know I like Hot 10, but Pre-Fire City right there, that was crazy. Now that's gonna be one of the themes, though, of today that we kind of alluded to in game number 1. That a lot of teams, yes, they might have played scrims. Yes, they might have reviewed the footage when it comes to the group stage and the rotating lobbies. But today is the day for these teams to really, put their flag in the dirt, I guess you can say, and claim a drop spot for themselves. And that's exactly what we saw right there. Now, when we look at other tournaments, PMGC, PMPL, we saw teams fighting back and forth for the longest, especially in North America. So stubborn. And at the end of the day, it just hurt. It just hurt both teams. Risking that much early on, every single time you guys play the same map, it is not worth it. So hopefully, Daos Legion, they're able to claim that spot for themselves. And looking into tomorrow's map on Sanhok, it will not be contested, Hot Jukes.
Yeah, I think it's going to be, we'll have to find out. We're going to have to find out. One thing is, No Limits, they're playing as a 3-man this whole start of this tournament. So I wonder if they're going to mix things up whenever they come in as a full squad. I think that might, alter some things a little bit. We're going to see some simple, though, catching just the end of catching those toes underneath that building. Going to get the knock, and they're going to go for the thirst. Instant smokes coming from Silencer Gaming. I like to see that. Banana's going to throw a nade in that same direction. And you got to see, remember, if those smokes didn't come out right there, he's not crossing that way, and he's not getting picked up. So really good play so far from Silencer Gaming.
But Nasty did take some shots. I don't know if that was by mistake, but those shots from Nasty did give away their position as Gold Touch crawled across that smoke wall. Looks like Gold Touch was able to get picked up. Rex really low in the health department. Looks like no limits, like you said, only playing with 3. So they really need to be selective on who they fight and when they fight. And honestly, if I'm them, yeah, you got a knock. Okay, you didn't get the thirst. Well, you know what? I don't think you can commit to it at this point because you're already at the disadvantage in this 3v4. And Banana, yep, looking for that escape plan, looking to get on out of here.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly what they need to do. And I really like to see this from Silencer Gaming. Understand that, yeah, we got an unfortunate knock. Instant smokes, though, a very good kind of micro play from them, allows them to keep all 4 up. Now, they don't realize, I don't think they realize that No Limits is only a 3-man. So at the same time, it could have been a lot of trouble. It could have been a lot of trouble for them, but they were able to capitalize from their mistakes and be able to get out of there alive.
I might have to sub in, man. You might have to cast by yourself. I got to sub in for No Limits. I'm trying to get that $14 million total prize pool this year. I'm just saying. No limits. Hook it up, man. Hook it up if you need someone. Mustache dude. Nah,
dude, I'll just take a cut. I'll take a little cut. I'll take a little cut of your price.
Cut on me doing the hard work. What are you?
Yeah. You know, like, hey, but let's put it this way, bro. If I'm here, you're not doing your job. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That's what it is. I'll be the coach. Dude. I'll be the coach. I don't mind that.
There you go.
I'll be that.
Hey, we're totally
watching
winning.
from the
We
sky.
are totally winning then. Yeah, just tell us where that.
Well, we'll see, though. We'll see what these teams are going to be able to finish off. I mean, this is the start here of the PMCO EU West Finals. Very critical day because, you know, it's not like a long-form tournament where we have weeks and weeks and weeks. It's only 4 days. 4 days, 4 games a day to show up and just show that you have what it takes to make it to the finals, you know, to be a professional mobile gamer. And we'll see which team's got the stuff. Scrimfarms getting into a fight here at the start. They had a great day to finish the league play. Not their best start. They're going to have 1 member down, and now they're going up against Team 9. That's going to be Rexpect Esports, another good squad coming into the finals. Just trades back and forth, and you can just see them just trying to be able to get some information. This could be a great nade from Caster, though, if this hits. Super close, but it's really tough to throw nades, especially when it comes to any kind of increase or decrease in elevation. It's got to be right on point. Nacho just trying to get that intel for his squad.
Poppy looking to group up. You know what I call that from Nacho? I call that the lawnmower right there. That pre-fire through the
lawnmower?
Grass. That's the lawnmower right there. Just pre-firing through the grass. So looks like the lawnmower, the action, was able to push off his aggressive push from Scrimfarms. Scrimfarms, they were the aggressors in this situation. We saw them tossing smokes. We saw them tossing grenades, trying to work their way on uphill, but Rexpect able to defend their tower for the time being. Hack shot. Yeah, this is good because they already lost 1. So Scrimfarms going to be at a disadvantage if they continue pushing up that hill. And that's when we start to see them pile back in their compounds. Now, Rexpect, though. I don't know. Yeah, Rexpect got the knock. So, Jukes, this is for me to ask you here. Rexpect, do you surround that compound that Scrimfarms are in? Do you try to take this early fight? Because early fights, they could be beneficial because you have to assume the chance of getting third party is decreased, right? It's a lot less early game with the zone being so big. So if you were their coach for Rexpect, would you have advised them to take advantage of that one? That's
going to be a negative for me, Dave. Only because it's only because it's Sanhok. That's the why. That's the reason why. Is because you are absolutely correct. When it comes to zone number 1, your chances of getting third party are going to be lower. Since the tournament's a little bit earlier, I think it's going to be even lower than that. At the same time, though, it's Sanhok. The map is so small, you never know if there's a team creeping up on that hill. And if you go down and risk that fight early on, it's so simple for a team to just push down and capitalize on it. So I think you have to play that one in particular a little safe. If it was any other map, I'd say go for it. But yeah, when it comes to that situation, I think that they made the right play, at least the right call for now. We'll see if it ends up paying off, though. But my question back to you, though, Dave.
Send it back.
My question back to you, is if that's what you call the lawnmower, what's the weed whacker?
The weed whacker. It definitely involves a vector being suppressed.
Ooh.
It definitely involves
suppressed vector.
Yeah. I mean, if there was a sound in game, yeah, it's definitely the weed whacker. So next zone goes back up, or goes up, that is. Daos Legion spending a lot of time in high 10. Very curious to why that is. You know, they're going to be in the blue, taking some unnecessary damage in my book, in the book of Dave / Sanhok / Papa Blue. So they should be able to make it in to zone number 1 free and clear. Nobody's going to be up there gatekeeping to the north, thankfully for them. Now, the thing is, going back to the original point. Going back to the original point. Go ahead. Nah, I forgot it, to be honest with you.
Oh, rip, dude. You see, the reason why is because Daos Legion, they're up so far north, right? They're doing some Smokey the Bear, you know, just safety, you know, just safety instruction videos. They want to make sure that there's no forest fires and keeping Papa Blue safe. I think that's what they're doing, because that is a very safe rotation, if I could say so myself, especially when it comes to Sanhok, because these zones move so fast, and if that zone shifts south, they are going to be in some big trouble. They're going to have to full send it on a bike or something, and that's going to be super risky in Sanhok.
You made me forget my point so you could say Smokey the Bear.
Of course. Yeah, of course. You know, don't I forget what he says exactly, you know, but he points at you and he says, "Don't start fires." That's all I know.
That's an NA thing too, dude. I don't think they got Smokey the Bear in EU.
Well,
man.
Look,
it's a rough life out here.
All I know is, look, fire safety is important, okay, for everybody.
That is true.
You know,
I think we can all agree with that. Yes.
You know, and also when it comes to us, you know, we looked at what you call a group of pandas, and we have officially discovered that it's called a bamboo of pandas. So if anything, all I just want to know is just say is that this is an instructional channel now at this point.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, at least you learned
That's why we
something.
made the new channel. We made the new channel so we could educate people. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, by the way. I see a lot more viewers than actually subscribers to the channel. We're trying to hit that 1 million goal here today. So help us out. Spread the word.
1 mil, baby. You can do it. You can do it. All you got to do is grab your finger, click that red button that says subscribe, baby. That's all you got to do. Let's go.
That's pretty easy.
And right
That's
now,
pretty easy.
And it's pretty easy. I guarantee you, with how much these teams are snaking, they could do the same thing, to be honest.
They probably are. They probably are.
Because they ain't moving. Yeah, that's probably exactly why this game's so quiet.
Daos Legion. What is going on, though, Hot Jukes? I mean, this is safety. That was my point. Going back to the safety thing, going back to that, this is day number 1. We saw in the group stage, and you brought it up multiple times, hesitation coming out from these teams. That is my fear. When is it too safe? When are you playing too safe and not playing that game that you're used to playing, right? Daos Legion, would they normally do that in pubs? Would they normally do that in the scrims? That's my question. You know, are they playing too safe right now?
I don't think any team's doing this, to be honest, especially when it comes to Sanhok. We lost 2 members early on, and we're just trying to survive play. At the same time, it is a very, very careful play. We'll see where this next zone goes. If it goes to their side, it could be worth it. If it goes to the opposite side, they're in big trouble. And the zone is going to pop dead center. So not a particularly horrible zone for them. The only problem, though, is they're literally going on the side where there's like 5 squads. So they have to play very, like, almost like silent assassins, like a bunch of lions in the Sahara, you know, hunting some gazelle. Very, very quiet, very stealthily. And then once they get the right opportunity to strike, they bite, Dave. They bite. That's how they're gonna have to do it if you're Daos Legion. Because we saw one single Panda do it in the last match. They can do it as well. It's just gonna be really hard in Sanhok.
So Daos Legion looking to bite some people this game, pretty much. And I guess I'm a little biased because the way that they're rotating in, I know we see the next zone, but it opens them up to being forced to push through or around Quarry. And personally, I have never seen that truly work. Quarry, you get in there, you just get pinned down, you get locked down. You're not going to make it on out alive. But hey, we might have some action right here. We might just have uncalled for in their little buildings and their little compounds. And we got some snakes from our first place winners of the last game, Team Night Target, looking to maybe take advantage of this one. Oh, as I said, they got baited by the crate. No, 2 members to 1 crate. How? 2
You hate to see it.
members to 1 crate. with this 2-2
Maybe
split. What was going on?
Maybe one of them needed a helmet and the other one needed a vest. Maybe that's what it was. You gotta smoke those out though. Gotta smoke those out just in case, man. Those crates, they'll bait you out every single time. Now they did get one knock in return. The only thing is that they're in a terrible position to push this. They really can't. So it looks like they're just gonna have to use that knock to try and pick up their teammate. The only problem is that they're in a really horrible position. There's just no cover for them to go get them. So I think that they're just gonna have to just get that knock and just deal with it. Just deal with it for the time being.
Yeah, and that one grenade will definitely alert them that there's going to be at least one snake over here. So Exile did get that one knock. The revive did come on out. Looks like both Loki and Exile, the duo from last game, going to be the duo for this game from Team Night Target. They're getting awfully close to Uncalled For. I see a couple helmets already missing from Uncalled For as well. Their armor looking pretty low. This fight going to be right here on the edge too.
Yeah, and if you're Team Night Target, you had a great game number one. You just don't want to throw here in game two. Like, you don't want to have a 0-point game. So I think right now you already lost 2 members. If you're Team Night Target, you have to start playing for placement. You have to start playing to put some points on the board. You have 0 kills. If you go out now, that's a goose egg. 0 points in total. So if you want to continue to try and be a top 4 team, especially after that game 1 performance, that's going to put you in a good position. You just don't want to negate that completely. You want to put up, even if it's 4 or 5 points, but man, look at this. Loki is super pushed up. He may catch this one slipping. Oh, the weed whacker. The suppress vector. The suppress vector coming out, but it's not strong enough, Dave. Maybe he had to go and replace the blades on it because he only caught one, and they may be able to get the confirmation here because Papa Blue's coming in. And yeah, it looks like they're going to leave that remaining teammate. That nade's going to come out, and now they're getting pinned from inside. So Exile could really use this as a huge opportunity. He's got to win this fight, though. Is he going to play this aggressive?
Exile. Go for it. Go for it. You're solo. You need to get some kills on the board. Godzilla going for that revive. You have to hear something. Oh, man. Playing so cautious. And that next zone does pop. These teams, they have to move so far. And it's going to be gate kept from 4 Romanian men. Exile definitely hears these footsteps. Going to be using this time. Maybe they want to pop up behind and backstab them. There goes another one. Thirsted. Okay.
Got the point.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah, you had to go for it. He gets 2?
Thirsted.
Full health. Oh, he's going to try, but I think he has to go for the fight here. They're just coming up too close. He's going to get a 2v1. Almost got the full squad wipe. It's just not going to be enough, though. If you would have really utilized that rock a little bit better, but that's so tough. I mean, that is so tough to do, especially when you have that much adrenaline pumping through you. You get 2 knocks. Man, you got to give the props for him. But yeah, they're going to, he has to leave his team.
They're going to die.
He realizes the blue zone's coming.
Yeah.
So they got 1 point. 1 point in total for Team Night Target.
I wouldn't be surprised if 2 of those members from Uncalled For died to the blue. Even all of them. Because the blue zone right on top of them, it's going to be chunking them down. And they were already low from that one fight. So, hey, it is what it is. 12 teams to go right now. No hate. Going to be playing the edge. Blue zone to their back. They just witnessed the Pandas go for some crazy send into that water.
One of them made it. One of them made it into that water. I don't know if it's safe, though. You're going to see him, that Panda, swimming for his life. Going to try to be able to get into this blue zone. And it looks like Team No Hate's completely avoiding the water. They're not even looking that way anymore. Well, Jaguar. Maybe just trying to catch a little panda head sticking up out that water. And if it does, you know for a fact they're going to catch that one. But it looks like, man, pandas and snaking seems to be the play so far in the first 2 matches. Oh, I think he did get caught out from what it looks like into the kill feed. So, yeah, I think that's going to be it for the pandas.
Rexpect going to be trying to gatekeep right now. The Pandas all piled behind that boulder in the blue zone now, getting picked apart from multiple angles, I believe, as well. Exotic Alliance from up there on the hills, trying to get a piece of the action themselves, and Entropiq right beneath them in those compounds. More shots popping out from Nightmare.
See some phenomenal gatekeeping happen here at Sanhok, and everyone's just trying to panic and get into this blue zone if they can. It's just so tough. Papa Blue's coming, and he's coming angry because he is punishing all these teams that are staying in him too long. And you can see Norgden right there. He's going to be trying to heal up, But Zone 5 is so unforgiving. And once it closes to Zone 6, you cannot stay in the blue zone for more than a few seconds. You literally have to be spamming that first aid kit or you're going to go down.
Nacho looking to make some plays this game. Next zone does go on up, so both members, the duo from Rexpect, they need to move. They cannot spend this much time back here if they want to play these zones. Caster trying to take some shots. Here we go. Next circle. GSG
that was risky.
Right smack in the middle.
Oh, driving by.
What's happening here?
Hey, Gaming EU just happened to be across that bridge, and they were sending it in a bike at the last second. And then now I believe it's only one left for them. Nacho's going to pick up another kill. That's going to be 6 in total. It looks like right now he needs to be picking up all the first aids he possibly can. So here comes the blue zone. He can get some decent placement points just from picking up first aids from all these boxes. So he needs to grab every single one that he can and just keep on tapping those heals until you run out completely.
It's like Entropiq are going to be forced to fight Scrimfarm here very shortly. Blue zone going to be applying some pressure. Clown in the front line. Clown, that pop-off player from the squad. They're not even going to have a chance. They're not even going to have a chance. Spraying down that Thompson, immediately spotted and the trade. And yeah, they're going to bleed on out right now.
You can see right now, Neha, yeah, passing off those first aids. He's going to try and go ahead and pick it up real quick, use it, and then try to get into this next zone. It's going to be very, very difficult for him. There's still 7 teams remaining. That's only a couple of points in placement. Naya has to be able to make a big play. I don't think he's going to be able to get in this zone safely, though. There's so many people looking this way. Yeah, and he's going to get shut down instantly on the side of Backfire. Backfire, this squad, Entropiq going to have 4 kills so far. They're going to be holding the edge of this circle. GSG Europe, though, they have a dominant position. This is a big game for them. They need to stand up straight and start hitting tons of shots, getting a whole bunch of kills. This is their game to do it.
They are a little split though right now. It looks like 2 of their squad mates are trying to take some shots on a Silencer Gaming, but when they start to take these shots for Romanian Men, they're playing awfully grouped together. I wouldn't doubt that they're going to try to take advantage of this one. I see 5 teams alive. Last time we checked the mini map, I saw Nacho healing on up, so they might still be alive all the way down there to the south as well.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. He had a lot of boxes, a lot of crates there, so it depends on how many first aids that he has to be able to use. So he's going to definitely get some decent placement points. This is GSG Europe's, though, opportunity to get a ton of placement points and kills as well. They have to utilize it to their best advantage. Thing is that they are very split, and if they have one team 3v1 them, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. So I'd like to see them group up a lot harder and start suppressing the absolute heck out of each team and just doing it one by one rather than so split up.
Yeah, now's the time. You might have the information. Okay, that's perfect. Have the information, but pull back to your squad mates. You need them, especially this late into the game. And the next zone does go on up. Looks like for Romanian Men, they need to push up just a little bit, but they're trying to make sure to take out Entropiq so that they don't get backstabbed. But this is truly a king of the hill moment right here. GSG on top of that hill.
Yeah, top 4 now left in the match. Now, you do see Silencer Gaming. This was the old LakoNostra ICE team. They're in a top 4 situation. No kills, though. A lot of trades starting to go back and forth here. You see one member from 4 Romanian Men at the bottom. I believe that's going to be the last one up for them. So he's going to have to hold this spot. Blue zone is starting to close on in on those, so he's going to be in a lot of trouble. GSG Europe still getting some nades. 5 kills to their total, and they could have an opportunity to get a lot more, but they have to play together. And they have to start confirming each one of these kills one by one.
McNasty looking up to the gods of the blue zone, just hoping to not be spotted, as now it's going to be a solo battle to try to get those placement points, because the top of the hill, GSG, finally able to take down Entropiq.
So you can see there, that is going to be a top 3 finish from 4 Romanian Men. And I believe they already had, 9 kills last time we looked at them. So I could totally see why they have a solo member. Yeah, solo member just saying, let's just get those placement points now. This is a great performance for us regardless, considering that we got a lot of our kills early on. So 4 Romanian Men playing it smart. GSG Europe, so like I mentioned, this is their time to shine, to get as many kills as they possibly can. They're pushing up 1v1, though. Oh, great finish, though, from Kamara. And now 4 Romanian Men are in a top 2 situation. At least they've secured 2nd place. Goes for the 4v1. It's not going to be enough, though, because GSG Europe, they were primed and ready to win that match, and that's exactly what they did. Chicken dinner for GSG Europe here in match number 2.
Yeah, huge congrats, GSG Europe. This is going to be the official second chicken dinner of this new YouTube channel. And I got to give it to 4 Romanian men to be able to decide, okay, we already got 9 points. We already got 9 kills. Let's just wait it out. Let's just wait it out and try to secure ourselves that second place finish. And that's an additional 2 points between second and third place. They let Nasty just run out in their open. You know, they used Nasty from Silencer Gaming as bait right there. Silencer Gaming, though, no kills. No kills. It's okay. It's okay because they got 10 points that game. So that's exactly what they needed. Considering last game, game number 1, they only had 4 kills. So congrats to them. Very challenging map right there to be able to snake it out that long.
Yeah, start to step up a little bit, especially when it comes to Sanhok. If you're able to put up 10 points on the board in Sanhok, I think you got to definitely hold your head up high. GSG Europe, I would have loved to see them. At the end of the day, I mean, they got a chunk of kills, man. They are setting pretty well. I think that if they would have played together tighter and really dominated each corner, I think they could have possibly gotten another like 5 or 6 kills. At the same time, though, this is just nitpicking because they did win the match. At the same time, when I see these kind of chances and opportunities, knowing the fact that you're going to have upcoming games where you get bad zones and not really get the points that you want to, I think you want to capitalize on the games where you do get those positions to their absolute maximum. Because we talked about it earlier, Dave, and we're going to keep on talking about it. At 1 point, we've seen so many teams not make it just due to 1 point. Every single one is so crucial.
Yeah, I mean, when you have the advantage, you got to make sure to take that thing and squeeze out every single drop of that advantage because you never know. You never know. We could be coming down to that 4th and final day. Say it's the last game. Say they need a couple more points to qualify. Well, they're going to be looking back at when they did have those advantages and how they played, right? I mean, those little tiny micro mistakes that, I mean, we're going to call it a little tiny micro mistake. You know, they won the game. Congrats. But if you're going to be top 4, you got to make sure that you are just a well-rounded squad. And I would have liked to have seen them play a little closer together that game as well. They were really risky, in my opinion. But hey, you learn as you go. You learn on the job. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was game number 2, officially 50% done with day number 1 now. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. All right, 14 more games to go, ladies and gentlemen. We will be right back with Miramar coming up next. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the PMCO Finals here. My name is Mustache Dave, joined with Hot Jukes, and big shout out to Xiaomi. Innovation for everyone.
Love to hear it. Love to hear it, baby. 2 matches in the books. Half of the day is done with. 2 more matches left to go. And then after this, a quarter of this entire finals is done. This is insane. I mean, this is so huge right here, right now. Every single team needs to put up some massive points on the board, or they're going home. That's just the reality of the situation. So for everybody watching, of course, we're going to be extra critical of these teams because we definitely want to see who is going to be the new representatives here for the EU West division. Because at the end of the day, it's a big opportunity for all these teams, and they got to show up. So let's go ahead and take a look at the leaderboard. Let's go straight into it and see exactly where all these teams are standing after match number 2. Because at the end of the day, it's going to be really tough for a lot of these teams to start crawling on back if they have a bad day 1. And to start things off, 4 Romanian men are going to be moving into the lead with 35 points, followed by GSG Europe with 30. Entropiq with 24. Team Night Target had a great game number 1. Unfortunately, threw up a 1-point game, I believe, in the last one of Sanhok. So it just goes to show you how just much one bad game can just swing the leaderboard so quickly with this new point system.
And it's also a good sign if you are in first place with no chicken dinners, because when you get that chicken dinner, that's only going to increase that gap between you and the other teams beneath you. So very strong start from both 4 Romanian men and Entropiq. No chicken dinners. Top 4, baby. Top 4. So no limits. Dead last. Gamers Unite right behind them. LakoNostra Power third to last. These teams already 2 games deep. They punched their excuse ticket, their Hot Jukes excuse punch card. I would say that's officially punched right now as 4 points in 2 games. They have to really turn it around here, Hot Jukes. And they have to also not let games 1 and 2 affect their mentality, right? I mean, they still have a lot more PUBG Mobile ahead of them, as long as they stay positive and play the game that got them here in the first place from the group stages.
Yeah, like I mentioned, like when it comes to the Hot Jukes excuse card, it is fully punched. It is completely up, like you mentioned. And the thing is, like even right now, they could come back. Like one good game here at the end, that can bounce them back into a top 5 position. The issue is if you don't do that here in this game, if you don't do that in the second game, now you've put yourself in a position where you got to have a couple of chicken dinners or more to catch up. Top 4 teams are the squads that are moving on. And I understand that is the goal for these teams. They really need to start thinking even past this, though. You want to start going for top 1 because that's where the big money is. And you cannot afford any mistakes. You can't. These 2 first ones, like I said, you can punch that card all you want. But after here, you have to start showing up. Match number 3, you got to put up some major points on the board. And match number 4, you got to do the same exact thing. So that's it. No more excuses. Got to get it done right here, right now.
So the reason I forgot my name in the intro, all right, something caught my attention. Okay. All right, and this is pretty big. Rexpect Nacho. All right, we know Nacho. We saw Nacho popping off games 1 and 2, but last game, I had to double check. Last game got 1,000 damage in one game. Woo! That's a ton of damage, right? Like 1,000, and then the second most damage done is from Dexter from 4 Romanian men with around 700. So 1,000 damage coming out from one player. That's huge, man. That is huge. And if that is anything that we should expect from Rexpect Esports moving ahead, top 4, baby. I can see it.
That was a heck of a game. I mean, he was stuck in the outer position on Sanhok, and you could definitely see how he was trying to catch a lot of teams on their way in. The big issue is that when you kind of get stuck in that position, it's really, really difficult because you have to decide, do I want to take these shots, get that damage? But I personally, if I was him and that teammate in that situation, I would have called to not make any shots, period. because they were coming from a pretty far outside end. The second that they shot at those teams ahead of them moving in, that let those teams know, hey, we're right here. We're right here. You can go ahead and gatekeep the absolute heck out of us and make it absolutely impossible for us to move in and force to heal on up. So I would have liked to see them play a little bit sneakier, and then wait for that perfect time right on top of that hill to start shooting. Just, you know what? At the end of the day, it's all perspective, and it's up to that IGL to make the decision on when to shoot and when not to.
And it goes back to, I agree with you 100%, but it goes back to, if you are going to take these shots, put in the damage, get those numbers on the board, make sure you get the kills, right? I mean, 1,000 damage with 3 kills. That was it. So Rexpect Esports, they are in 5th place. They are having a good start. They are looking for that chicken dinner now on Miramar, along with other squads like 4 Romanian Men and Entropiq. So, ladies and gentlemen, game number 3 of day number 1, Miramar. The players are loaded on up. Mustache Dave and Hot Jukes bringing it in.
Let's go, baby. Here we go. The plane is loaded. You can see it right here, ready to go here for match number 3 of the PMCO West Europe Division. Top 4 teams moving on to the PUBG Mobile Pro League. That's this place where you can really make a name for yourself and ingrain yourself for the future of PUBG M Esports. And if you guys just happen to not hear the latest announcement, PUBG Mobile officially announced they're going to be giving away $14 million in prize pool here in 2021. That's some big money, and it all starts here. If you want to be able to get it, you got to be able to show up, and you got to be able to pop off with your squad. And this is a really good map and a good chance to do it, considering that it is a nice northern playing path right over El Pozo. Teams are going to pretty much go to all their spots if they desired.
Yeah, and hopefully they're going to a spot that is not going to be contested. More or less, I'm looking at No Limits, Gamers Unite Nations, LakoNostra Power, and I would even go as far to say uncalled for. You know, you want to have a nice early game with, the quieter the better, honestly. I know, as a viewer, we're like, we want violence, we want team fights, we want hot drops, but when it comes to an actual player, it's like, you want it to be as quiet as possible so that you have a nice little window to really get your loot, get your shopping list done. Get your M4, get your scope, get your vector with the suppressor, the weed whacker, right? So zone number 1, Los Leones, right there in the middle, is going to be fairly difficult with the plane path for some of these squads who did opt to go up there to the north. They need to drop down, they need to get their loot and immediately rotate here, Hot Jukes. They want to rotate sooner the better to avoid any choke points up there in the north.
Man, I'll tell you what, I hate this zone, and I think a lot of these competitive players hate it because it's such a difficult one to navigate through. I mean, it's so many hills, so many rocks. It's really tough to try to push on down there. But regardless, with the northern playing path, they're going to have to start making that move and start making it rather quickly. You start seeing here, Team 16, it's going to be uncalled for, catching that M4. You saw him popping off some shots with that VSS early on. And they're going to have to play this really carefully because they're very split up on pretty much both ends of this team. And if you happen to get knocked, it's going to be really hard for your teammates to come and save you. So they need to loot up quickly, just kind of both look at each other and say, hey, we'll catch each other in zone and try to avoid this fight.
I don't think that's what they're going to do, though. I think Gringo already setting up, trying to look for a potential pick here, a potential knock. That's going to be Octavian in the gas station. I see one of the squad mates from Uncalled For looking for that wide rotate. So I agree. I 100% agree with you. I would get this loot and be like, hey, nice seeing you, neighbor. We'll see you later. We'll see you later. But I don't think that's going to be the case here.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to loot a little too loosely, because if you're out wide in the open, they're going to punish you really quickly. So at the same time, you can just see both of these teams are really hurting for loot. You hardly see any helmets or vests on these squads, but for No Hate, I only see 3 of their members here in the city, and they are all extremely split up. So if one of them gets picked off, I highly doubt you're going to see him get picked up. And I think you see Tudor. You see Tudor on the top left. He's obviously has a vehicle. So it looks like he dropped off a little bit away from his team and is trying to probably push towards them. He's got to be really careful when he enters the city, though.
So a smart play coming on out from No Hate would be to toss some smokes in the streets, let 2-door. Hopefully they have a 4-door. let them scoop you up, let them pick you up, and then just full on boost it on that main road and get on out of here and hope that uncalled for whiffs most of their shots, right? Hope that they miss those tires, and at least you'll be able to fight another day. I mean, Miramar's so big. Oh, Jaguar has a bus right in front of him as well. Just screaming to Jaguar like, hey, I'm for free. This bus. I can
Here
save.
I am, baby.
I can save. Here I am. You know, you want to hop in.
Two-door, 4-door. I like what you did there. We'll see if these teams are going to be able to find those vehicles or that bus. I mean, man, you can just see right now, it's almost like this squad has like some taste of blood in their mouth. No Hate is really hungry for these kills, throwing out nades, trying to be able to catch one of these members slipping. But you can see uncalled for. I think they're doing a great job of pressing away from this finally. Yeah, they got their loot. They're heading up the hill and moving away from this fight, which I think is a good call, especially considering that the first zone is so far south. You just want to get some basic loot and just get the heck out of here. Head down south, find a good position, and possibly gatekeep a squad coming on in. Because if you're able to take them out, then you're going to have some good points on the board and their loot as well. So, I mean, I think time is definitely of the essence when it comes to zone number 1 of this Miramar match.
Exactly. And uncalled for currently with 0 points when it comes to placement points. They got 6 kills, so they at least got some points on the board, but they're looking to make the turnaround in this game. And in order to do that, they got to make sure to at least survive until that 8th to 12th place, where you will be able to get 1 point for your troubles. So that's the goal, survive. And hey, they might even be able to move and gatekeep, gatekeep No Hate moving forward. So we'll see. And one thing that teams, when they are in these early standoffs, not favored in the zone number 1, one thing that I wish they would have or could think about a little more is, okay, we're in a standoff, right? There's possibly 4 points, right? 4 points, okay. But I feel like they lose sight of the fact that there's other teams in the lobby probably setting up camp on those choke points. So even if you get those 4 points, how are you going to make it in, right? How are you going to make it in? Because in these early fights, you have to loot so slow that you're going to have some crappy loot. I mean, let's just admit it. Your loot's not going to be the best. You might take this fight with a helmet, maybe no vest, maybe a level 1 vest, maybe a helmet. But other teams, they're going to have level 2 gear. They're going to have the scopes. They're going to have the ammunition because they've been just straight chilling, waiting to take advantage of these teams who do decide to fight early. So I don't know. That's something that I really want teams to try to keep in the back of their minds when they get into these early fights or standoffs that aren't favored in the zone number 1s.
Yeah, that's a decision I think a lot of these teams are going to have to decide on because, yeah, 4 points is great. At the same time, though, I think you said it earlier. I think 8 points per game is a really good number to strive for. I think 4 points is a below average game if you want to make it into the top 4, in my opinion. A 0-point game is devastating. That's without a doubt. But even 4 points, I don't think that's enough. I don't think that's enough. Oh, look at this. We're going to see Scrimfarms, Clown. Saw him pop off here at the end. He's going to get 1 kill. He's going to go for the second. Not going to be able to hit those shots. But, man, this team is so pinched, uncalled for. Leaving early on, as we saw, but getting shot out of their vehicles. Flying buggy. Barely able to make it out of there alive. So they looks like they are going to be able to make it out. But they're going to lose. Make one, the good old-fashioned rotation player sacrifice, as we like to call it.
Yeah, they did lose 1. And, just unlucky, especially with how their early game started. Just a challenge right out the drop. And I'm still going to stand by my 175 points being at least near the threshold for top 4. And if that is true, you need to get on average 10 points per game because there's 16 games to go. So if you're getting 4 points per game, if you're even getting 8 points per game, 8 points, you'll be close, but 4 points, you'll be so far away. Because remember, we're not in that top 16 first place, 16th place tomato. That thing was last week. Now it's top 4 or nothing else at all. So that's something that these teams, they need to also take into consideration. Consistent points, and they want at least 8 to 10 points per game. Yes, you have to factor in those pop-off games here and there, but realistically, how many pop-off games will you have, right? Maybe 1, maybe 2. but you're not going to have consistent pop-off games. So that's where those points per game really play a big factor.
Yeah, I think when you look at a lot of the top squads, I think you see the championship teams, when they get those great opportunities, they just max, they squeeze that all that the potential juice, completely out till that towel is dry. And when it comes to games where they don't really get those favorable positions, they still always end up in the top 5 somehow. Just always putting up a solid 6, 7, 8 points, and those are their bad games. So if you want to make it to the top, you kind of have to follow that trend. And this is what I was talking about when it comes to this early game Miramar. Every single time you find a southern zone, I think you got to leave a little bit earlier because it's so hard to navigate there. There's so many hills, so much terrain to try to get through, and it's just so difficult. So difficult. I think you see a lot of teams struggling to make it into the southern zone.
It is quite the struggle bus for a lot of these teams who, like you said,
especially driving a bus.
Currently in and this is it. Prime example.
Oh, don't turtle!
Yeah.
Don't turtle it!
Oh,
the worst.
Took some damage too. I love it when we're talking about something and then it happens though, right? Like it just proves our point even more. And that's just something that these teams, they need to really take into consideration. And that goes back to the story early on, uncalled for. We saw them, they dropped, they had a team near them. They were looking to maybe make a play. And then eventually, 5 minutes later, like, okay, let's just peel off this. Those 4 minutes, those 5 minutes of them going back and forth within themselves, like, oh, should we take the fight or not? That is just wasted time. And now we see them flipping their vehicles out there, not in zone. So we'll see what will unfold with them, as we're going to be checking on in right now. Some gunshots finally happening. Gamers Unite taking some shots right now onto Team Night Target.
And this is what I was talking about. If you're able to get down south a lot earlier, you're able to kind of put yourself in a position to possibly gatekeep some squads. And especially since the terrain is so difficult to navigate through, you have a higher opportunity to get those people out of those vehicles. Of course, you still got to hit those shots. I think it's just a great chance to be able to do that, though. And yeah, so we're talking about struggle bus. You can see one of these squads were forced to use one. And you hate to see it, but yeah, I think right now, especially in Miramar, this is a squad, a map where you want to pick up some of those gas cans as well, because those vehicles are just so crucial to make that makeshift cover and crazy rotations, because this map is so big. You got to have those vehicles towards the end game.
Looks like Daos Legion setting up a little toll booth over here. Going to be taking the toll from Silencer Gaming, trying to use one of these main roads for quick access into the southern end of this zone. Hey, at least they're still riding in style over here, that's for sure. So, circle number 2. A lot of teams just still playing that rotational game, still looking for a solid spot to call home. Ooh, Vessi might be hitting one of these bolty shots, Jukes. This is what you live for.
Love to see it. You love to see it. And every time I see a bolt action, it's like my fingers just start tingling a little bit. Love to see some players pop off, especially towards that end game. We're going to see Team 13. That's going to be Gamers Unite Nations trying to pop those shots off. And you see a lot of these teams just trying to get into this circle. Late, cars flipping. Silencer Gaming having to jump on out. That Murado is smoking. They're in a lot of trouble right now. And you can just see Elod popping some bandages. No, look at this. No first aids. No med kits. Just a couple bandages in a dream. Just a couple bandages in a dream. And I'm telling you what, that dream's about to turn into a nightmare. Because Gamers Unite Nations, they are hunting him down.
It was a good dream until you realize you need to wake up. Because Gamers Unite Nations currently in 15th place on the overall leaderboard. So when they sink their teeth into their prey, they cannot hesitate, as we see them all surrounding Eldo right there. Yeah, that was just clean. The crossfire right there, the support coming on out. That's already going to be 2 points. If they get 2 more points this game, they would have doubled their total points. So this is the start that they need here. And Gold Touch, looking for the golden window right now on what they should go through, because they are going to be a solo from Silencer Gaming. Silencer Gaming, though, in a little better of a position when it comes to the overall leaderboards, currently in 8th place. But regardless, they still do not want to get taken out now, because that will be the goose egg. 0 points.
Definitely don't want to make those mistakes. Definitely don't want to make those mistakes and get those 0 point games. Those are the ones that really just impact your total score like you wouldn't believe. And when you have a top 4 position, I mean, we can harp on it all day long. That's just really what it is. I mean, you got to be able to make it. We just can't stress enough how crucial it is to move on to the Pro League. And I think all these teams really feel that urgency. So that's why I think we're starting to see some different play styles come out just due to these little hesitations, little mistakes, because these teams just don't want to get taken out early. But those hesitations are the reasons why they do, Dave. That's the problem.
Yeah, we saw right there Shifu from Hate Gaming, a little pressed up by themselves. Hate Gaming, hopefully they're not getting a little too desperate to regain their top spot within the lobby. Currently in 11th, and they finished in the group stages high above everybody else. I know they are definitely thirsty for some points, but we want to see them play grouped up together. For Romanian Men, this is something that they're just so good at right here. I mean, games 1, game 2, even looking back at the group stages, for Romanian Men, early game, you're not going to see them unless they want you to see them. Early game, they go into a compound that they could pretty much assume that's going to be favored in a couple zones. And then next thing you know, it's late game for Romanian Men. There's 4 of them, and they're just popping out playing the edge. So I wouldn't be surprised if they stay in this compound right now, even though they got a squad. They got Nacho, the 1,000 damage doer from last game on the outskirts.
The 1,000 damage doer, bro. I mean, getting it done. Do it. And you can hear him with that SKS. I mean, he popped a couple shots right at him, said, hey, better watch out, or I will do it to you guys. Yeah, so better be careful. Better be careful if you're for Romanian Men.
But next zone, looking for Romanian Men in the zone, right? Like, this is something that they're so good at. They get their look and they immediately rotate, find a position, and just hold down that spot.
Love to see Beg for Mercy in the kill feed, getting it with that M24. Love to see those bolt action plays inside of Miramar. You can see Hate Gaming EU starting to press up as well. And at the same time, they're on foot, and that's so tough. Miramar is not a map where you want to kind of get caught on foot. You need those vehicles to get moving. And you can see every single team, they're doing exactly that. They're popping in them, and they are on the move right now to try to find a position into this next zone. The driving skills are going to have to show up here in match number 3.
This is, we'll coin it the Great Migration, aka who's the best baby driver. GSG Louis dropping a vehicle Marauder right there. I'm not sure exactly why. Maybe there are, oh, you know why? Because it's right there on the edge of the zone, so they want to keep that one behind enemy lines so that if they are spotted, those tires are still going to be safe. That's a heads up play right there.
Nice one. Nice little micro play. See if it ends up paying off from Kraken. I think he saw that peak from Scrimfarms. He's on top of this hill above this whole squad. The only thing is that he is by himself, so he's got to be really careful. Yeah, Hex Shot is going to catch one of the members from Gamers Unite Nations in return. Apparently, they were just looking in the wrong direction. Yeah, I think Kraken's going to have to pull away from this. Now he's too pushed up. Just like that, you thought he had the advantage, but with one knock, Scrimfarms realized, hey, we got this player way too pushed up right here. Let's go and press onto him. That's exactly what they did. They took him out quickly. Great turnaround for Scrimfarm.
Talk about getting baited. Scrimfarm, they had one of their players behind Kraken as well, so they got baited big time right there. Looking on over to their other squad mates. They're trying to push on into that zone.
Great shots.
Getting 2 knocks.
Beautiful, beautiful shots down the way, and they're going to use those 6X M4s to finish them off and hopefully probably take the position that they had, because that is not a bad spot. At the same time, I'm not even sure if that spot is in zone, as this is circle number 4. Still got all teams remaining. Only a few members getting taken out from each one. And Gamers Unite Nations, from their position, they are just having to catch so many people surrounding them.
They might be able to get some revenge onto Scrimfarm, as we see Scrimfarms out there in the distance in their vehicles, just trying to send it through that open field to a compound. Daos Legion, though, they hear the shots. They don't appreciate a team being right underneath them. Herb's going to be stuck in their own engagement right now.
See if they're going to be able to get it as it goes on here. Daos Legion going to end up getting a nice little finish onto Gamers Unite Nations. Believe it's only one last member. Yes, it's going to be this one right here with 4 kills to their name. That's going to be at least 4 points. But if they can take it out right here, that's going to be it. You can see with the Uzi holding it down. Going to go ahead, go for that hip fire. Going to catch one, switches the gun. Not going to be good enough, though. Daos Legion catching them slipping. But now look at that. They're knocked. And the blue zone is coming. And they're just punishing them massively. Got to get going. Got to get the move on it.
Nice little push, though. The duo action, that is textbook. And popping on over here, we just saw No Limit straight up YOLO send it into the cluster of teams right here. Checking in with Shifu. Hate Gaming EU, they got 3 kills so far. Scrimfarms currently trying to defend their current position, now tossing out those grenades.
Start seeing some underhand grenades come out, trying to get some plays going. They're really, really grouped up, which I like to see. The only problem is I think they're a little too grouped up here. One mad nade, and they're going to get taken out. Hate Fox is going to be able to get one of those finishes onto Clown. Clown was pushed up all on his lonesome. So now you got the rest of Scrimfarms very, 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 very grouped up. Oh, those nades are very dangerous at this point. Yep, just like that. One nade is going to get the knock, punish them big time, and now they're in a lot of trouble. Scrimfarms need to start making some plays. Here comes Hate Gaming, though. Looking to press the action after those knocks. Nice little third party there from Exotic Alliance up top. That's going to help them out. It's only one member, though. Only one member from Exotic Alliance pretty much holding this entire position. I know he's just begging for his whole team to get over there. Oh, nade inside the house. That might do it. Is it going to hit? Doesn't look like it does. So, Clown literally crawled all the way from the bottom there and up and around. And Scrimfarms is just hanging on just by a little bit. Here comes Slick, though. Oh, great shots from Naya. I mean, this is just trades back and forth. What a crazy, crazy play right here. Hate Gaming, I think they're just stuck just trying to figure out what's the best play. They're getting caught between so many teams. They can't decide.
Yeah, they're trying to lock this one down, but Andy from behind really being that thorn and not allowing their duo, their squad mates, to regroup and take the fight with Scrimfarm. So honestly, a blessing in disguise. And this is a huge fight to win, regardless of what team comes out on top, because it's going to be right there on the edge of this new zone. So it will provide some cover for the time being. Much needed cover as well to get that reset and heal on up. But the standoff about to erupt here, Hot Jukes.
Still, well, I'm sorry, make that 11 teams remaining now. Scrimfarms is still up, still playing this building, and they're holding it for their lives. Smokes all over the place. Like you mentioned, Andy holding this building has just been a thorn in the side of Hate Gaming EU. Hasn't really allowed them to press up on either side, but there goes Daos Legion. That's going to finally take them out. I don't think that Hate Gaming is going to realize that, though. I think they're still going to think that that building is taken. But now you can see them just staring in this direction. And Scrimfarms, I mean, they are not moving a muscle. They are just holding this building down, and they're going to hold it as long as they possibly can.
Looks like Hate Gaming trying to toss out some smokes to do the same thing. Zombie on the high ground in that little garage. Such a critical angle that they're holding right now, because they can third party both Scrimfarms and Hate Gaming. Such a strong spot. And that's why we see Zombie just popping up through that window, trying to third party and get those confirms, get those points. And oh, they are going to connect on to Fox.
And he is going to get one. I know for a fact that Zombie's just got to be screaming right now, just punching the air, saying, "Squad, why aren't you with me? I got such a great position." It's just really unfortunate for him, the fact the rest of his team just isn't available.
He's a solo.
They aren't there.
He's a solo.
Yeah, he's a solo. I mean, yeah, they were so split up, and that's the reason why. I like that smoke there from Hate Gaming up top. That's going to kind of reduce Zombie's sightlines down below. Beautiful smoke on the side of Hate Gaming. And now GSG Europe, they're going to be pressing this. Zombie's going to have to make a play. Will Andalito hear it, though? That's the question. Here comes the buggy. Oh, yeah, you got to hear those footsteps now. GSG Europe pushing this really well together. They are going to get the finish. But now here comes Hate Gaming. After hearing those shots, they realize it's time to third party. Here's the chance. Jaja, a.k.a. LOL in Spanish. Can he be able to get it?
Levi trying to survive, trying to decide, do they toss the grenades to defend or the smokes to maybe block the sightlines from their squad mates? Jaja finally taken out, and it looks like Patience was on the side of Scrimfarms, and they will be making it on out of here alive for the time being, still utilizing their smokes to provide the cover, the much needed cover. I mean, they got so many smokes. Levi, look at that lead peak, grenade in hand. It's cooking. It's going to be tossing.
That's
boom,
it.
baby, boom. Levi with a nice grenade, cooked to perfection right there.
Man, they'll cover it. The only thing is that those smokes did not cover grenades. That is a fact, man. Those nades are just so punishing when it comes to those smokes, and sometimes they just give away your position. And really well played. Scrimfarms, I think, held on for a really long time. At the same time, though, just wasn't going to be enough. Still 6 teams remaining here in match number 3. GSG Europe doing a great job. 5 kills to their name. Still have a 3 members up, holding the south side and just snaking, trying to push their way in. Daos Legion, they had a really good position as well. They've got to have a good amount of kills under their name, under their belt. We'll see who's going to be able to get this next game going on up. I think that Daos have a great spot. Look at those nades coming out from Rexpect Esports. Poppy showing for Romanian Men how it's done. And all it takes is one more well-placed one. Oh, man. It's Rana is at 1 HP. There comes the Molotov. Is it going to hit him? So close. All the utility. It's like a red zone. Rana is feeling the pain right now, but he's not feeling the burn. He's not feeling the burn. Baby. Or is it... Oh, those mollies are so close. He can feel the heat from them, but he's not burning.
Oh, will this be it, Nacho? Nacho looking to get that burn, looking to get that final thirst. And Nacho and Poppy, always the duo alive from Rexpect. Always that duo looking for those survival points.
That's
and
the
Panda,
one.
Currently with 11 kills, make that 12. Poppy's going to be extremely pissed about that one, especially after all that utility they tossed out across the street.
A dozen kills make it a baker's dozen, baby. 13 kills on the side of Panda. Panda really starting to pop off on this match, really feeling themselves. They have a great position, still have 3 members up, 1 knocked, about to be 4 all up in total, and they have this entire ridge line, this entire side of the map to themselves. So they can literally just stand up straight and put a ton of pressure on all these teams on the other side of the map. At the same time, though, they're not in zone. They're going to have to push their way in.
Yeah, they need to push their way across that street. We're going to have Rexpect looking in their direction. Same thing with GSG. Now, this could be a huge come up for Daos Legion. Once when they start to hear those shots erupt on top of Panda, they can surprise both these squads from behind and get that backstab going.
We'll see. Daos Legion, they've been holding the spot. It's been paying off really well for them as this duo. They have just been popping off shots at all these teams that are stuck on. And you can see Panda trying to creep their way into the zone. They're going to have to go against GSG Europe right here. Andalito with a really good angle. Gets surprised, though. Just too overwhelmed. Panda making some really great shots here. I believe they do get the fin. No, I'm sorry. 1 remaining map. It's just Yiz up, and Rexpect Esports are coming for the third party. A massive battle here at the end. And Daos Legion, they're just chilling. They're like, hey, you guys go and fight it out all you want. We'll come catch you on the end side. Here comes Kamara. Big shots coming back and forth. A lot of trades. Tons of hip fires between 3 teams. Panda! And Panda! Panda's going to come out on top, baby. The bamboo of Pandas. Yiz able to hold it down. And at what point is Daos Legion going to say, hey, guys, we're here as well. It looks like they're on the way now. Oh, nice little free fire coming out from Bassi. Gets a couple of nice hits. Oh, it's all Daos Legions to win this. They have to press this. They're completely stuck. And the Pandas did a great job of holding it down towards the end. 16 kills? 16 kills for them. And Daos Legion is going to end up taking the chicken dinner. I think regardless, though, with that many kills in a second place, I think Panda are going to have the most points in this game. Easily. Woo, what a game.
Pandas are just straight popping off right there. And honestly, this is something that I've seen in the past when we look back at North America. I don't know if you recall, Sixless, though, had the same play that Yiz just pulled off right there. They hid between the 2 tires of the buggy, and it makes it extremely challenging to spot them out. And that's exactly what happened. I mean, I saw Rexpect. They checked the dip. They checked the bull, but they did not spot out Yiz. And Yiz got that final heal up. And we saw there at the end, just like, hello, surprise, how's it going? Yes, I'm right here. And Rexpect, they couldn't flick quick enough right there. And hey, third place, regardless, 4 points. Great come up for them. That's 14 points. But Pandas setting a record here for the PMCO Finals. And Daos Legion clocking in, man, getting their first winner chicken dinner. Much needed one as well, considering they were in 7th place coming into that game. 7th place. So a chicken dinner is going to set them up mighty fine. And you called it out. Daos Legion, they heard the gunshots popping off. They heard all the violence, the mayhem, and they were just chilling in the back, man. They were just chilling in the back like, hey, we're going to show up in the end game, fellas, and we're going to have the numbers advantage. And that's exactly what they did right there. Very clean from them as well.
Well, they got the chicken dinner, but they didn't get the most points that game. That's going to have to go to Panda because, I mean, they slayed out. And that's what's so crazy is that with this kind of game, when you have a double-digit kill game and a chicken dinner, you're almost putting up 30 points by itself. They definitely did because they had that many kills to do it. So they are going to fly up the leaderboards. I can't wait to see what that's going to look like before match number 4. And we will find that out, ladies and gentlemen, right when we get back after this short break.
Boom. We are back, baby. We are back getting ready for the last match of day number 1. I'm a Mustache Dave, joined with the Hot the Jukes over there, and we are ready to bring the spice. Hot the Jukes. We got the ingredients, and now we're going to mix it in the pot and shake it on up, baby.
Oh, baby. You know, you got to get that pasta going. I know you got the sauce, but speaking about the team, we got to, of course, talk, dude. We're here at the PUBG Mobile Club Open EU West Finals, of course, sponsored by Xiaomi. Innovation for everyone, baby. We got this going on. 3 matches in the books. You know what, Dave? Let's not mess around, dude. We ain't messing around, baby, because we got the sauce. We got it all nice and hot and ready to go. Let's take a look at the leaderboards, baby. Let's go ahead and see who is going to be in the best opportunity to move on into the top 4 after 3 matches being played. There's still a lot more games left to go, but this is still very, very important. And, oh, baby, we got a tie, Dave. We got a tie because guess what? Panda said, "What's up, lobby?" Guess what? We're here. We're a bamboo of pandas, and we ain't playing around. Because after that last match, they put up 28 points on the board in 1 game. And just like that, Dave, tied for first place. Done.
How many kills did they have last game? I thought they had like 15 or 16.
16.
That's 16.
16 kills.
So they only had 5 kill points coming into that game. Wow. Okay. Hey, pandas. Pandas. Okay. I mean, you went big, and now you are going to be there second place. And hopefully with that insane performance, hopefully they're feeling themselves, Hot Jukes. I'm hoping that they are definitely feeling themselves, maybe looking to get that winner chicken dinner. And I got to give a shout out real quick. Got a lot of people in chat, Hot Jukes. A lot of people in chat tagging us saying, 4 Romanian men. They're trying to make history out here. So 4 Romanian men currently in that 3rd place position. No chicken dinner. I believe I saw Iceman in the chat cheering them on. So Daos Legion able to, I'm going to say it, sneak their way on up to 4th place here after game number 3.
That was a big win. I think they had a great position and just were able to kind of just hang back and take that chicken dinner at the opportune time. So it was a great game for them. This is what I was talking about, though. When it comes to the Hot Jukes excuse card, you only get those first 2 games. And look what happens after 3 games. If you had a bad performance, we have to look at it, right? We have to be real. LakoNostra Power, uncalled for, all under 10 points. Now they are almost 40 points behind. 40 points behind top 4. 30, 40 points behind. That's a lot. So in order for you to catch up and have a chance of getting in that top 4, you have to hope that these top teams don't perform as well. And if they keep performing decently, you need to have some insane games. You need to be pulling off games like Panda just did. We're talking 15 kills and a top 2 finish constantly. And the problem is, Dave, we saw it in the last stage. We saw a team not make it, even though they had 16 kills, 2nd place, towards the end. It just wasn't enough. And that's the thing is, the longer you go without having good games, that gap is just going to keep getting thicker and thicker.
So thick, man. It's so thick. And if I was the coach of, say, for example, uncalled for, LakoNostra Power, no limits. If I was the coach, I guess more in particular uncalled for, something that I've noticed in the first 3 games here tonight. I think what they need to do, honestly, just drop somewhere right in the middle of the map. No matter what the map is, just drop in the middle of that bad boy. The reason I'm saying that is because every single time we check in with uncalled for, they're in their cars, driving around the place, trying to make it on into the zone. So I feel like a huge weak spot right now from the team, because they always end up losing 1, losing 2, and then they finally show up to the zone. They only got a duo, right? You can't really do much with a duo, especially with how sweaty this lobby is. Around 20 minutes, we have a lot of the lobby still alive, right? A lot of the teams still alive. So if I was the coach for uncalled for, drop in the middle, all right? Just drop somewhere, try to survive, try to keep your numbers, and just stay out of vehicles, because they have not been helping you at all here tonight so far. I'm not being rough on them, Hot Jukes. I'm just saying they punched that ticket 3 times now, the excuse ticket 3 times. So now's the time to make that change, because if they make it now,
that's one too many.
They have a good chance of qualifying.
That's one too many on the excuse cards. Not that much. And I'll say this, Coach Dave, always hear the wise words from him. And I got to admit it, Dave, with that haircut, man, you look like one heck of a defensive coordinator. And I think that advice that you just gave, and I think with that advice that you just gave uncalled for, I think that they definitely need to take it to heart. You got to go make sure that you're not losing anybody early on. And guess what? We'll see who is going to be able to last to the end in our last match here of the PUBG Mobile Club Open EU West Finals, baby. We're taking it to Erangel. Let's get it going.
And you know what? You don't have a thick mustache like myself without going through some things, all right? So just trust the process over here. Trust the process, uncalled for. If you're in the chat, if you're watching, thank me later, all right? Thank me later. So, ladies and gentlemen, the final game of day number 1 here. We only have 4 days. After this, our teams will have 12 more games to go. And then top 4 make it to PMPL Europe. So a lot is on the line right here. A ton of money is on the line. The pressure starting to build up for certain teams. Meanwhile, the pressure starting to get a little looser for other squads, especially if you are teams like Panda, because last game, 16 kills. My goodness, 16 kills. Like, I wish I could do that in the game, that's for sure.
Man, dude. Mustache Dave's mustache, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it. I'm going to tell you right now. A lot of people ask in the chat, what is it made out of? Answer, wisdom. Or more important, knowledge, dude. Knowledge. That's what it's all about.
I squeezed the knowledge juice out of that bad boy. That's the secret to me. You ever get close to me, just squeeze the secret juice out of my mustache and immediately, like, plus 50 IQ. Immediately.
Oof. Bam, dude. Just like that. Well, guess what? For all these teams like LakoNostra Power, dropping in Watertown with this zone, they're going to be dead center. So that is going to be a high IQ move for them. And they're a team that really needs a ton of points. So unfortunately, that area is not going to have a whole lot of loot. They're going to have a great position, though. So if they're able to kind of loot those surrounding buildings and get decently set up, they should be able to have a great position going into the rest of the game. Now, for Rexpect Esports, Hate Gaming, they're going to be dropping a military island. They're going to have to press their way back in. And 4 Romanian Men are going to be looting those yellows right across the way from them. So they need to start getting a move on it a little sooner than later, I think.
Yeah, I mean, for Romanian Men, we saw game number 1. They all dropped Pachinki this time around. Looks like Dexter's going to be the only one in Pachinki. And we also saw how big of a factor that played in them getting a lot of placement points. They had a little 2-2 split on that hill, on that church. Very strong position, especially with those zones. We have 2 teams that did drop down there to that military base, like you mentioned. They're going to be able to get some solid loot, but they need to be thinking, okay, how long do we commit to looting down here? Because we do have to move here very shortly. So a lot of teams kind of the same mentality right now. Quickly get that loot in and then reposition, get somewhere maybe even as center as possible and just kind of, hit that subscribe button and wait it out, baby.
That's what it's all about. And I'll tell you what, even when back in my old comp days, my first rule was position over everything. Like, it's just so strong. Like, you even see, we've seen it plenty of times where you see a lot of these teams, they'll be waiting towards the end, 0 kills, and then all of a sudden get a great spot in circle number 5, 6, and end with a 15-kill chicken dinner. I mean, that's what it's really all about, is setting yourself in a good position with your squad to really optimize your potential to its absolute maximum. And you really have to do that quickly. You have to do that quickly because the problem is these teams are getting so good at looting efficiently and fast to the point to where, like, they're out, like, they literally have a time on the clock set for how long they have allowed to loot. Like, they're looking at this watch right now and they're saying, okay, 41 seconds before circle number 1 closes, we should have been gone 20 seconds ago. That's literally what they're talking about, and they are just getting it going so fast these days. So you got to be on point. You got to be on point, and you got to be able to make those moves quickly.
So I'm curious, that internal clock, that timer that you're mentioning when it comes to straight dropping out the plane looting, is there a difference between that clock when it comes to your looting outside zone number 1 and inside zone number 1? Like, does that matter at all from your past experience,
Definitely. Like, literally, if you go and you see that zone is super far away, you need to reduce that timer down tremendously. Like, you need to talk to your squad and you say, all right, by 2 minutes on the clock, I want us in a vehicle and gone. And you have to be able to get that move on. Now, if the zone lands right on top of you, you could be a little bit looser. At the same time, at this stage, you don't want to be too loose to the point to where you're starting to split up and loot, because you can definitely get caught off guard and lose a person really quickly. But at the same time, if you do get that zone, it does buy you a little bit more time to get a move on it. But you don't really want to get too lax, because so many of these squads, I mean, they're just so quick on their rotations, and they take all the prime spots almost instantly.
Hey, you're talking about myself having some wisdom? Nah, Jukes, you got the knowledge, man. I appreciate it. I always like picking your brain, especially, you know, early game, the Hot Jukes Dave podcast hour. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, this is game number 4, update number 1. Looking at the leaderboard so far, I'm already starting to get a little concerned right now for a couple teams, and I'm getting concerned because I'm starting to see the same, I guess you can say, play styles, same results that we saw from the group stage. And I'm gonna hone this one down just a little more for you. Scrimfarms.
Go ahead.
All right. It took their last day of the group stage. They had to pop off, or else they wouldn't have qualified, and they did. They popped off. They had 2 phenomenal games. All right. But I'm seeing the same thing right now from them when it comes to the overall leaderboards. They currently only have 3 placement points with 13 kills. So looking back at the group stage, they had a lot more kills than placement points. Like, their weakness, placement points. Like, that's just a fact. The thing is, I don't see them changing up much from the group stages till now. So, like, I don't think they can depend on popping up to qualify anymore. Like, that's not the game plan. And this is perfect, because look at this. We're going to be checking in with one of their squad mates. Actually, 2 of them. I don't know. I mean, what do you suggest? I mean, do you follow what I'm laying down here?
I think I follow exactly what you laid down, because what they did, yeah, I mean, they earned the clutch patch. I got to say that. They definitely earned it. The issue is, like, you cannot use that same strategy to get in the top 4. I think that strategy worked for top 16. It's not going to work for top 4, though. What I wanted to see from Scrimfarms was the fact that towards that end, it's like they had to put it all out on the line, and they just played their absolute heart out, and they saw how well it worked. And what I was hoping is that they would see that and bring that into the start here of the day, and it looks like they are still yet to do that. So I wonder when that kind of really aggressive play style, super confident team, I'm waiting to see that squad, and I hope we see it sooner than later, because I think they have a lot of potential. But you cannot squander it away, because especially with only top 4 teams leaving, man, dude, that window of opportunity will close on you faster than a duck at a free bread line, dude. I mean, it's all gone.
A duck at a free red line. You either know or you don't know. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you either know or you don't know. And honestly, when we wrap back to Scrimfarm, a lot of eyes are on Clown, right? Clown, one of the standout players from the squad, really strapped on that level 3 backpack, carried the team to victory. The thing is, now it's different. Today, all these teams started with 0 points. You can't just have one player on your squad doing all the heavy lifting. It takes all 4. It's a team game at the end of the day. And it comes down to just having an IGL, you know, making the calls, everybody following those calls, and just setting up those fraggers to have that potential to pop off. So, hey, let's see what they can do. This is the final game. Very important game. You see Poppy up there on the hill getting that one tap from McNasty right here on that scar.
Round the head. His level 1 helmet is gone. You know, he's screaming at his team, hey, guys, happen to see a helmet, let me know. That's the kind of calls he's giving, because guess what? Mine's gone. And that's the kind of that's the thing that happens when you start taking these early game kind of like poke battles. If you get knocked like that, or just lose that kind of gear, you'd be surprised. It may be difficult for you to find some for the rest of the match. You have to try to loot a body, and getting kills here isn't going to be easy. But that's going to be zone number 1, relatively quiet zone number 1 so far. And it looks like zone number 2, Dave, is going to head on to this main Gatka area. And to be honest with you, I think that this is a really good zone for a lot of these teams. I think this is a very, very common one. So they're going to know this one like the back of their hands.
We might see GSG Europe getting into some conflict with Daos Legion up there on the north as they look to make their approach into the zone. Meanwhile, a lot of teams are going to be in this don't necessarily need to move very much. Pandas, a bamboo of them. They were grouped up. TI popping on out. So it looks like the Pandas looking to reposition right now. Not very happy with their current spot here. This is interesting because they are in the zone right there, but I guess they don't like that spot they were in.
Yeah, you can see him going off to that end, and you can just see him. He saw what he said. I mean, he told the rest of his team, he's like, yeah, they call me TI, but you don't know me. I'm going to go and move on over. I'm going to move on over and find another spot. And that's exactly what he did. But guess what? Looks like they're going to have to find Scrimfarms really quick. Clown is going to take him out. And just like that, you get 2 split from your squad, and you are taken out lightning fast. So Scrimfarms, I love to see this aggression, realization of a one member being super split up. They full sent it. And now you can see Clown throwing on some nades as this second member, actually the rest of Pandas, trying to get that revenge for their teammates, but now they are extremely out of position.
You don't know.
Oh, look from the back uncalled for.
That's what TI. And that's the thing. TI was the scout right there. Scouted this out. It was clear. It just so happened that Scrimfarms also pushed this location. And then the other 3 Pandas, they were on the approach, but a little lagged behind, a little late. And now they just can't pick the part. And this goes, to me, this shows that the Pandas, they might have gotten a little too greedy right there because, like I mentioned, they were in that zone. They had the compounds, they had the safety, they had the comfort. Sometimes repositioning, though, is just too risky, especially with all these teams looking to do the same thing.
Yeah, it could be a little bit overconfidence. They had a great game, number 3, and then game 4, they thought that, you know what, we did lose a member, so yeah, we could take Scrimfarms right here. We just had a great last game. But at the same time, once you're out of position, you get pinched between uncalled for, and just like that, your entire team's pretty much gone. Now, Panda, down to a solo member. And he's going to have to snake it out to put some more points on the board. And they had a great few performances, so I think that Snake just needs to try his best to just put something up on that board to last a little bit longer. But yeah, that's the situation. Just like that, things could turn around for you in an instant in competitive PUBG Mobile.
The situation. And the solo from Panda, yeah, they just cannot get taken out early, right? They have to get some type of placement points on the board. They're currently in 2nd place on the overall leaderboard. No chicken dinner. This was their game that they were looking for. That's probably not going to be the case. But what they can do, make sure to at least get maybe a 7th, maybe a 6th place finish. Snake it out. It's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a big time challenge, as we're going to be looking on over here. A lot of other teams looking to reposition themselves. I believe this is going to be Exotic Alliance over here, team number 18. They are currently in 12th place on the overall leaderboard with 3 placement points and 8 kill points. So I can already see they're playing kind of separated. Gonna be popping 2 members in a vehicle, and please don't tell me they're gonna make this push and try to take this fight. No,
I mean, this looks dangerous.
It looks
sketchy. Yeah, they're trying to.
Very sketchy to me.
Even I was looking at it kind of like this is a very risky play, but it does look like it is going to pay off decently for now. And they're just trying to find, I think, their spot for this next zone. Anytime you have a hard shift, you got to always remember that that hard shift side is most likely going to be free. And that's exactly the situation that is right here. So I would like to see more teams, when they see these kind of crazy hard shifts, to wrap around that circle and then start coming in, pushing in through the hard shift side, because it usually always ends up paying off.
Yeah, we only got 1 squad all the way down there in the south as well, near that gas station, those kind of crossroads. But Beg for Mercy popping on out behind this boulder, trying to connect those shots, not able to. Watching these points just slip right past them. Ooh, but popping on over here. One of the members from Uncalled For spotted, tagged, and bagged. Right there, and this is what I was trying to coach them for.
Tiger gone.
Yeah, this is what I was coaching them earlier on. Just find a compound in the middle and just stay there. Don't move a muscle.
Don't want to be losing players on the rotations. That's literally exactly what the defensive coordinator, Mustache Dave, said. And unfortunately, it's exactly what happened. And now they're completely split up and stuck out wide in the open in a very, very compromising situation. So not the games that Uncalled For we're looking for by any means. So they're in some big trouble. They're in some big trouble. They only have 7 total points on the leaderboards. It's going to be really difficult for them to add more to that. At the same time, gonna have to do it. Gonna have to find a way if you want to make it into the PMPL.
One good thing, though, I would note, you know, kind of like the bright side of things, I guess, is that compared to group stages, this is no longer that rotating lobby. So you have to assume after this game, teams, especially teams that are down there at the bottom, they'll be able to review the VODs, right? And see exactly who drops where, check out some opponents' rotations, and they should be able to plan accordingly coming into tomorrow. And honestly, they're going to need to. They're going to need to plan accordingly. And I hope they do, because with 3 more days to go, they could definitely still do it. Clown, we were talking about Clown just a couple moments ago. Level 3 backpack, my man. Popping some tires. So smart. Ooh. Gets a knock, pops some tires, take out their utility.
Beautiful.
Clown, dude. That's just textbook right there.
Textbook stuff right there from Clown. Great shots down the way, gets a knock for the lulls, and then takes out their tires, making it more difficult for them to rotate away. So that's No Limits. Looks like No Limits finally rocking that full 4-man. So I think that's going to be a big change for them. But at the same time, Dave, here's the problem, is that research had to have been done before today. Because guess what? Yes, on the bright side, you are not going to have those rotating lobbies, and you can put in that work, and you can come back. The problem is, though, what happens when these teams on top today? What if they just keep doing what they've been doing? You have to catch up to those squads, and you have to make it top 4. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Next zone goes on up. This could be a big game, though. Today's not over. So if you can put up some big points here at the end, I think that's definitely going to give you a lot more breathing room going into the rest of the tournament.
So I want to note, GSG, they're definitely taking a page out of your book about rotating all the way down there to the south, right, on that hard shift, but just unlucky that they are going to be down there to the south, and the next zone does shift so far away from that southern border, and they've just been playing leapfrog between them and Daos Legion. I said that these two teams are going to fight here very shortly, and these zones, all these yoinks, it's going to force them to fight here before you know it. Looking on around, this team right here, LakoNostra Power, they are looking for a huge game. Currently in 15th place on the overall leaderboards. They are looking for that comeback right now.
They need it. It has to happen. I mean, if they really want a good, solid chance going into the rest of the finals here, they got to have a good one. You can see that vehicle driving on off, and some great shots from Kraken with that DP. This DP towards late game is so strong. And that's going to be Daos Legion holding this position. And they're in the zone. This is a very strong shack. Very strong shack. But I got to admit, up on that hill is going to be a little bit better. So Exotic Alliance, I think, are going to have the edge here. But they got to really hit those shots and apply that pressure. And start closing that vice tighter and tighter onto all these teams surrounding them.
Yeah, Daos Legion, they might want to blow up their UAS so that the enemies don't blow it up and potentially knock them out, because it looks like they're going to be using this UAS for cover for the time being. 16 teams, 17 minutes in this game, 16 teams still alive. We still have our solo from the Pandas trying to snake it on out. Bessie trying to get some damage over there, trying to get that vehicle explosion themselves. Able to connect all those shots, and I have to assume it's because they might have smoked themselves, so they're gonna be blocking their own sightlines over there.
Yeah, you can see Saba running around. Just they completely smoked themselves out, and that is going to give a lot of teams around them opportunities to start pressing up. So you got to be really, really careful. At the same time, they're stuck. They're completely stuck here. Oh, and the headshot coming from uncalled for with the AWM. So the showing up here the last match. You love to see that. And
breaking
that
the door
is going to be
down,
a ton of pressure. Yeah, they are just being held down big time. That shack proving to be a difficult place to hold here in the final match of the PMCO EU West Finals.
Right there on the edge, we saw Team Night Target kind of separated on the edge over there to that west-hand side. They do have a chicken dinner. They were able to get that winner chicken dinner in game number 1. Currently with only 7 kill points. They're looking to crank the dial when it comes to that aggression, and I believe they're going to be setting up in quite a good spot right on top of Exotic Alliance. So once Exotic Alliance, once when they start to take some shots maybe onto Daos Legion, I would like to see Team Night Target kind of close that gap, try to sneak up behind them and really take it to them. And yeah, Car 98 shots, that's going to help.
Loki with that bolt action popping up. Next circle's going to head on over to the west side now. So all these teams on the south are going to have to start pushing their way in. At the same time, they'll look at how many teams are gatekeeping them. There goes Exotic Alliance. They had a great position, but now they are starting to get held down. Looks like by Team Night Target. Team Night Target had a great game, number one, first chicken dinners of the day. Unfortunately, haven't had the same success here in the rest of the matches. Looking to bounce back and continue that dominance. This could be a great opportunity for them, considering their spot here in the next zone.
Yeah, they do get favored in the next zone right there on the edge. They just need to take out Exotic Alliance and overthrow their position right now. We see 1, 2, I thought I counted at least 4 smokes, maybe even 5 grenades, and this is going to be creating that chaos, that much needed chaos to get up close and personal with Exotic Alliance.
And that's exactly what they are. Exotic Alliance now have their backs up against the wall. Full lay down mode. Here comes the dossier coming towards the end. I believe he did get the run over. Exile going to catch one. And now Zombie is going to try to get that revenge. Unfortunately, though, he is snaking out wide in the open. 0 cover. Nice shots underneath that dossier, though. That is a really good one. Is he going to go for the finish to try and get the confirm? We're going to find out right now. You got to see the rest of Team Night Target come support their teammate. Here come the smokes that way. And now there's even more pressure because guess what? We got a third party coming on from down the hill. So now Team Night Target, their focus is split between so many different teams. Now you got No Hate here at the bottom. Was that a good nade? That was a good nade. That's going to be an entire squad wipe just like that. So now you got Team Night Target with 6 kills. A great play, trying to go for these reses. And it looks like they are going to be in this next circle. So a great bounce back performance. Zombie from Exotic Alliance is still alive though, and they have to know that he's there, just creeping, waiting in the grass, just waiting for him.
Andy and Zombie are so split apart right now that even if Zombie wants to make a play, they don't have that support from their squad mates. And that was the moment. Chaos was the solo member. Chaos going for those revives as well. Like, this is the time for Zombie to really get that revenge and drive that dagger on in through their hearts and take them out. Scrimfarms still gonna be alive over here. 5 kills to themselves, 3 up. They do have an open field ahead of them. If this next zone does not favor them, it is nothing but open terrain, and that's gonna be Gamers Unite with those DPs trying to spray them down. And yeah, I don't see them making it on out of here alive if the next zone does not favor them.
Yeah, it's going to be so tough. I mean, every single team looking at him is going to be like, oh, free points. The next zone is going to be relatively close. Relatively close. Now, unfortunately, they did lose that UAS, so it's completely blown up. So that's going to be their cover. I wonder how many smokes they have left. I know they're going to be hoping they have a lot because they're going to need to use every single one of them because look at this. You got right up on top, Gamers Unite Nations just staring directly in their path. Great shots though. This is going to help relieve some of that pressure from Scrimfarms and hopefully allow the one of their players needs to hold back, needs to stay here, continue to apply that pressure while the other 2 push up and then use each other. But man, look at this. Gamers Unite Nations is just making it so difficult for them to breathe at all. Because look, blue zone, 2 seconds, make it 1, make it none. The zone is coming and it's coming now.
And for good cause. I mean, Gamers Unite, they need to take out Scrimfarms so they can rotate and use that little baby hill to the north and have some cover to rotate into this new zone. DTT cooking up a grenade. This is Daos Legion. They're still going to be alive. And that grenade trying to get into the shed. Loki able to dodge that one. DTT spotted from behind. This is going to be chaos. The snake in the grass with the DP, swapping that bad boy for the M4. Trying to get on out of here. And yeah, they might have 6 kills, but Team Night Target might be on their last straw right here of luck as Loki,
and that's it,
taken out.
Done. 7th, out in 7th place. That is insane. So only a few points on the board for them with placement. 6 teams still remaining, 23 minutes on the clock. Gamers Unite Nation still alive, and it looks like it's just Herbs now. Yeah, the last remaining member gonna hold this down, and he's gonna stand up straight here. Okay, goes back for the lay down to reduce that recoil, but he's trying to get that sight. He can't see it. Says, okay, let's go for the res now. Let's just go for the res here. This is super risky though, wide out in the open, but he has to go for it. Scrimfarms snaking their way, trying to get more placement points. Showing up here at the end though, showing up here in the final match.
I'm surprised Gamers Unite didn't commit more to keeping Scrimfarms out of that zone. Somehow, Scrimfarms were able to make it right towards the edge. And Gamers Unite now going to find themselves in the crosshairs of Daos Legion, and they're not going to let them go. Wolf does have a Groza. As he smokes, going to be pushed on up. I mean, it's got the Shredder, but Daos Unite are united. That is, Daos Legion, they're united this game. They're playing grouped up.
Did they see wolves? Did they see wolves? You heard that Groza come out, but it's not going to be enough. So there's Daos Legion, 9 kills. So Daos Legion, they're having a great couple of matches, and they are going to really dominate here, especially if they get a chicken dinner towards the end. We'll have to see how they're going to finish this off, though. You still got Rexpect Esports, last remaining member, Bardot, trying to throw some grenades, trying to throw some utility to make it tough, and he's going to land one right on the money, baby. Rich, take some of this. And now let's see if he's going to try to get that finish. 6 kills under his name of the side of Rexpect Esports. And now you got Scrimfarm from that open field. Now they're starting to wreak havoc on the rest of the lobby as they are all hitting the deck, trying to snake their way to the top 3 situation.
Daos Legion cannot get overconfident right now. Yes, we see you guys popping off. Yes, you got 9 kills, but Bardot, that solo went for that bait onto Rich, tossed another grenade on the Bessie. Bardot, I love you right now in the bush. 7 kills in total. 7 kills in total for Bardot, and that's going to open this up for Silencer Gaming. Yeah, Silencer Gaming looking for a chicken dinner here. This might be it.
This could be a good chance. This could be a good chance because they still have 3 up, and now they're starting to creep on to that weak side. It's just Bardot really holding that angle. Daos Legion is pretty hurt right now. Scrimfarms is going to come and start clamping that vice around these teams, so they are going to be completely pinched. Bardot's starting to receive some shots, and those are just some pre-fire ones because those smokes gave away his position, but I don't think Scrimfarms really knows that Daos Legion has a full squad just creeping and snaking right there. But guess what? They didn't know. Now they do. It's just Clown, the last remaining member for Scrimfarms. I'm going to say goodbye, teammate. It was good knowing you. Got to make a play. Got to be able to do it right here. He's going to be able to hit a nade. There goes one. Nice little arc. Could be a little too far. A little too far. Daos has to assume that there's somebody by that tree. They have to.
They know.
Usually you assume that someone's always next to that cover. Yeah. And I wonder if they're going to have one coming to return. Clown's going to throw all his kit here, everything he has to try to open up these knocks.
The thing is, Daos Legion, they're really concerned with these solos right now, when I feel like they should be concerned with the complete squad across the way. I mean, I understand they're concerned with the solos for a good cause, but they are splitting up, right? I mean, you have the numbers advantage when it comes to the solo battle out here. So Bessie kind of split up in their own little fight with Bardot. And I guess you can say the same with Salva and Clown over here. As now we're going to start to see Nasty try to flank.
Oh, he hit him with the pan! Did he hit him with the pan? I think he threw the pan and hit Clown. Oh, that's insane. Didn't knock him, though. What? Someone play that back. Someone send me that clip right now. Because that's nuts. Clown's hurt. Clown's hurt right now. But still holding that spot. Look at how close these guys are. Yeah, look at how close. Bardot gonna get the better edge.
Not like this.
So, and he's not getting picked up. That's for sure. He's just gonna be giving intel right now. He's just screaming to his squad. Guy right next to me. Throw a nade on me. And guess what? Don't worry about it, because Silencer Gaming is gonna do that for me. And that's gonna get the finish and knock. And now Daos Legion. I mean, it's just so split up. Clown's gonna get one of the members from Silencer Gaming here and slowly sneak his way up, because look at this. They've smoked themselves out completely. They have no sight lines. They cannot see this way. That's allowing Clown to push basically for free.
And that was my fear with Daos Legion. They were so focused on their own little individual plays amongst those solos that they really lost sight of the advantage that they truly had right there. Clown, 6 kills. Going to be crawling up over here. Knows that there's going to be a pickup erupting. Nasty almost picked up. Salva really low. Might even get taken out from the blue zone if they're not cautious enough. Gold touch in the smokes by themselves. Playing that bait. But Clown! Unstoppable!
Clown!
Getting 2!
Oh my goodness. Oh, he got shut down by Salva though. Salva shut him down. Salva shut down Clown. And now he's going to use all of Clown's work to get a chicken dinner again. So Daos Legion may just sneak away this chicken dinner out of the hands of Scrimfarms. It's going to be a 2v1 though. And it's not going to be enough, though. Scrimfarms are going to show up in the end, as is tradition for this team. A big chicken dinner win, one that they really needed considering they didn't have the best first 3 matches. So they got to definitely be pretty hyped about that one.
Yeah, I mean, nasty goal touch right there. Silencer Gaming, this is exactly what they needed, that winner chicken dinner to set them up for the next 3 days. But honestly, I mean, you said it, Scrimfarm, Clown. If I'm Daos Legion, I need to just tip my hat to you because Clown put in so much work right there towards the end, and it really opened it up for Sava to push up, because Sava, I don't think, had any meds left towards the end right there. So really was dead to rights in my opinion. But I'm still surprised that Scrimfarm even made it this far into the game, because if I had to like bet, I would have said Scrimfarm, they are dead, because remember, they had to push across that open field. There was like 2 hay bales. They had no vehicles, but they were able to make it across that field with 3 alive. Like that right there is like, how did that even happen? Like, I don't even know. Well, I do know, but I'm just Scrimfarm.
It makes sense. It makes sense. Yeah. Exotic Alliance had a really good angle on them, but they just seemed to kind of focus, more prioritize central zone rather than just gatekeeping. And you just saw right there. I mean, the advantage they took. They took every single advantage. At the end of the day, we have to because these teams need to recognize, like, you know what? You have to look back at the opportunities that you had. And as an IGL, you have those decisions to make. Do we decide to go this way or do we want to go this way? And sometimes you got to look at those coin flip calls and to say, hey, you know what? Sometimes it's better to just get those easy points, especially considering that if you can get those kill points for free and they're wide in the open, they're huge. They're huge. So, I mean, overall, I think a great performance for a lot of these squads. I mean, I was freaking out. I was like, Scrimfarms, Clown towards the end almost had it. Daos Legion shut him down, and then Silencer Gaming able to secure that chicken dinner, I think is a really, really big thing, because we did see this squad pop off towards the end of their last day in league play under the name of LakoNostra ICE. But now, under Silencer Gaming, able to do the same thing here towards the end. So a great game for them nonetheless.
And you know what's crazy is they did pop off that last day that they played, but they got chunked out. They got knocked out of that top 16. So they officially didn't qualify. But then because of the rulings that we saw over the last couple days, hey, they got bumped up, baby. They got bumped up. So they're here. And this is honestly like their second chance, right? They didn't necessarily qualify the first time around for the group stages, but they caught luck. You know, Lucky Charms have been eating those bad boys all day. They're here now, right? That's what matters. And they get a chicken dinner. This is the time for them to take full-blown advantage of the situation and try to make it, you know, top 4 PMPL, baby.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, after getting a chicken dinner, for me, that just shows that it proves that they deserve to be here and exactly what they need to be doing. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and move over to the leaderboards so we can go ahead and see where all these squads are going to line up for day number 2, because that is going to wrap up day number 1. And we're going to see right now Daos Legion going to go ahead and be the team up on top with 63 points. So a huge day for this team. 31 kill points, Dave, and 4 games. That is a massive performance. Panda in second with 52 points. Rexpect Esports, third place at 51. 4 Romanian Men, saw a whole bunch of love for them in the chat. In fourth with 47 points. So, man, this leaderboard's, I mean, it's starting to get thick quick.
Daos Legion have more kill points than half the lobby has in total points. That's a statement and a half. I mean, that's a statement. And not only that, last game, I'm impressed with Daos Legion because last game we saw them. They were in the south towards that mid game. They had that 2-2 split, if you can recall. They had 2 squad mates by that UAS in the open getting picked apart, and then they had 2 squad mates in that death shack that I'm gonna call it. But somehow they managed to make it on out alive, regardless of the disadvantage that I would say they were in. Right. So if you could be in a disadvantage like that and then still come out on top, hey, I'm impressed. And Panda, still no chicken dinners. Kind of, I'm going to say they had 2 scuff games today. They had 2 scuff games today and then 1 pop-off game. I think if you are a Panda fan, you got to make sure to not have any more scuff games. You can't be making those risky pushes. You know, they always have TI on that scouting role, always the first one to get taken out, which is common for a scout. But the thing is, when it comes to them in scouting with TI never has the support. So even if TI gets to scout that compound and it's safe, it always takes them a couple seconds to pull up with that support. So maybe they need to work on their timing. Regardless, though, great day one from them.
Great day one. This is what I was talking about. I talked about it a couple of days ago of how much, like, whenever you're doing those kind of rotations, car distance is important because there is too close to where if you do get caught out, you could all die. But if there's too far away, now you don't have that chance to be able to support your teammates. So minute little details. I think that's a lot of extra stuff. I do love to see the fact that Panda's playing grouped together as a squad. They're able to pull out some big wins. I think it's just those little minor inconsistencies that I would like to see them resolve, especially before the Pro League coming up. But before that, Dave, they got to make it there. You got to end up in the top 4. 3 more days left to go. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, of course, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button here on this brand new PUBG Mobile Esports Europe channel. Of course, to watch some PUBG Mobile Club Open EUS Finals sponsored by Xiaomi. Innovation for everyone. So, Dave, any final thoughts here on the day?
Final thoughts. I know if you are a viewer, you might think, oh, why are these guys being so tough on my team? Why are they being so tough on my team? Listen, we just want them to do the very best that they can do, because we know if they do qualify, if they are top 4, Hot Jukes and myself, we know what's ahead, right? And it only gets harder from here. So if they can fix these little tiny micro issues that we keep talking about, they're going to be unstoppable, right? They are going to be unstoppable, truly starting from the bottom, making it all the way to the top. That's the goal. $14 million USD is the total prize pool for 2021. So if Hot Jukes and Dave can give a little pieces of advice here and there, hey, it's for free, baby. So take this free advice and just improve. But ladies and gentlemen, we will be back tomorrow. 12 more games to go when it comes to the PMCO Finals, EU West. Hit that subscribe button. We'll see you tomorrow.
Knowledge.